Chapter 2298. Little Yuxiang and Duchess Li Shuang looked at each other, and then began to explain why they left Qin Yun on the ship. They did not say that Qin Yun was the Nine-Yang Palace King, they only said that he was Yu Wulan's friend. They told Feng Yu everything about how Qin Yun had saved Yu Wulan and how he had helped the Divine Moon ship escape. Sister Feng Yue, the main reason why we kept him here is to let him protect our ship. We didn't dare to tell you before because we were afraid that you would be unhappy. Xiao Yuxiang shook Feng Yu's hand and whispered, "He has saved us several times, we can't just chase him away." Duchess Li Shuang said, "Sister Feng Yue, if it weren't for him, we would have been dead long ago. Even now, we still don't know how to thank this expert. Wang Ju and the clan emperor would have to personally express their gratitude for such a matter, but we didn't dare to mention it to you." After Feng Yu heard this, her attitude also changed. She was no longer as angry as before, and the frost on her beautiful face had dissipated quite a bit. Her expression had become much more gentle. She caressed the little white cat in her arms and looked at Qin Yun. "Who are you? In the God's wilderness, there aren't many who have the ability to deal with a Nine Heavens god-demon." Duchess Li Shuang and company did not dare to tell Feng Yu the whole story because they were afraid that she would suspect that Qin Yun was the Nine-Yang Palace King. At this moment, Feng Yu was really doubtful, because she knew that only Hall King Zhuyang had the power to counter the Nine Heavens Demon Lords, and could punch a hole in the Nine Heavens Demon Lord's head. Qin Yun also doesn't want to expose his identity to Feng Yu because he will have to face the clan emperor in the future. Before that, he doesn't want to leave a bad impression on the clan emperor. The Divine Moon Race's emperor was the key to breaking through. "I come from the heavenly law race above the Nine Heavens," Qin Yun said indifferently. "You so-called divine desolate ancient race actually have your roots in the Nine Heavens." "You?" Feng Yu's narrowed eyes suddenly widened. It was clear that she was extremely shocked. "What's with the heavenly law war god that was bestowed upon you back then? Why didn't he use the heavenly law war god? Instead, it was sealed in a coffin?" asked Qin Yun again. The so-called clan spirit was actually a very powerful puppet, also known as the heavenly law war god. The clan spirits of the powerful ancient races were all different. It's not convenient to explain this matter here. You saved everyone on this ship. I, the Wind Moon Duke, am very grateful. My Divine Moon clan will definitely express our gratitude in the future and send you a generous gift. Feng Yu's voice was full of vigor. This also showed that her promise was very important. "There's no need to thank me. Now that I have you as a king, I feel much more at ease. I'll take my leave first." Qin Yun cupped his hands and said with a smile, "I'm indeed a little uncomfortable on this ship. Even though you're from the Heavenly Law clan above the Nine Heavens, I won't believe your words just like that. So, I have nothing to say about the Heavenly Law Battle God. After all, this involves an important secret of the Mystic Moon clan." Feng Yu expressed her stance. "Believe it or not, it's up to you. Goodbye." With that said, he used transcending void steps to leave. Instantly, he vanished, leaving behind a faint spatial fluctuation. Seeing him leave so easily, Yu Wulan, Little Yuxiang and the others were very surprised. Qin Yun didn't leave because he didn't want Little Yuxiang and Duchess Li Shuang to take responsibility. Feng Yu is sure that there is a man on the ship, and if she can't find him in the end, she will definitely interrogate Little Yuxiang and the others in the future. If she doesn't say it, she will definitely have a conflict with the Divine Moon clan. If she says it, Qin Yun's identity will also be exposed. Now that Feng Yu has found the answer, she won't continue to make things difficult for Little Yuxiang and the others. "Sister Feng Yu, will you tell this matter to the clan emperor?" Little Yuxiang said in low voice. "If the clan emperor finds out, won't he be very angry?" "Sister Feng Yu, this is a special situation. If the clan emperor really blames us, I will take responsibility. The captain of this ship is me, it has nothing to do with them," Duchess Li Shuang said. I was the one who suggested bringing him on the ship. Moreover, I met him first, so the main responsibility is mine," Yu Wulan promptly said. Feng Yu faintly sighed. "You guys in the future, you must explain this kind of thing clearly. Do I look like an unreasonable woman?" When Feng Yu became serious, she became very fierce and cold. Just looking at her made one feel a little afraid. Even little Yuxiang and the others are filled with reverence towards Feng Yu. "Sister Feng Yu, will you tell the clan emperor or not?" Little Yuxiang also mustered up her courage and acted like a spoiled child. "Of course I will. The clan emperor is not unreasonable. This matter is very important and must be explained to her. Don't worry, the clan emperor will not punish you. If she wants to punish you, then I will bear the responsibility," Feng Yu said. "Thank you, Sister Feng Yu." Little Yuxiang hugged Feng Yu and even kissed her cold and beautiful face. "We let a man on the ship, will Master really not punish us?" Yu Wulan is still somewhat worried. "This is a special situation. Whether it is the clan emperor or me, your safety is more important than anything else. Letting him on the ship is not a big deal as long as he can save you. When I found out that the divine Yang race and Nine Sun heavenly race's ship was destroyed, I immediately rushed over. Fortunately, you guys are fine. Otherwise, I would blame myself for the rest of my life." Feng Yu's stern jade face revealed a trace of a rare smile. If not for the relationship between the Divine Moon Clan Emperor and Qin Yun, Yu Wulan and the others would have said it long ago. "Sister Feng Yu is so nice." Yu Wulan also hugged Feng Yu and kissed her cheek with a tender smile. "That fellow, is he from the Heavenly Law clan above the 9 heavens?" Feng Yu's expression suddenly became serious. She said, "You must not hide this matter from me. You must tell me the truth. Otherwise, if it affects the clan emperor's judgment of the overall situation, the consequences will be very serious." Speaking of Qin Yun's true identity, Yu Wulan, little Yuxiang and Duchess Li Suang were all stuttering. "Look at you guys, there is indeed something you are hiding from me." Feng Yu shook her head and sighed. "Sister Feng Yu, can we not say it?" Yu Wulan said softly, "Because we promised him that we would not reveal his true identity. He is the 9 Yang Palace King, right?" Feng Yu snorted and said, "Do you really think I can't tell?" Yu Wulan and the other two did not speak, their faces filled with worry. "His relationship with the clan emperor is not good, so..." Little Yuxiang sighed helplessly. "Sister Feng Yu, will the clan emperor hate him even more? Do you know why the clan emperor is so prejudiced against him?" Feng Yu asked. Yu Wulan and the other two hurriedly shook their heads. Feng Yu said, "The 9 Yang Palace King is trapped in the curse of the 10 images. He has fused with the bloodline of many powerful races in order to break through this curse. Once he breaks through, his strength will become extremely powerful. We know that. He is truly a pitiful person." Little Yuxiang sighed. "He is a good person, but if he breaks through that curse, it is very likely that he will become an evil person." Feng Yu's eyes suddenly became filled with helplessness as she lowered her head to look at the kitten in her arms. The kitten meowed, it was very cute and obedient. "Is this the reason why the clan emperor hates him?" Duchess Li Suang asked. Yu Wulan bit her lips. She felt very sad in her heart because she understood Qin Yun very well. With Qin Yun's strength, he would definitely break through that curse. And after that, if he became an evil person, he would no longer be her little brother Yun. If he wants to break through this bottleneck, he needs to fuse with the Divine Moon bloodline. You all should know that men are unable to fuse with the Divine Moon bloodline divine origin, but if the clan emperor helps, then there will be no problem. Feng Yu let out a long sigh. This time, he is definitely going to the Divine Sun Heavenly Island to find the clan emperor. Master can really help him break through the bottleneck. Yu Wulan is somewhat astonished because she did not know about this matter. "Yes, you need to become his companion." "Do you think the clan emperor will be willing?" Feng Yu said. He actually needed this kind of help in order to fuse with the divine moon bloodline divine origin. When Yu Wulan and the other two heard this, they immediately became silent. If it were me, I would definitely help him. After a moment of silence, little Yuxiang muttered in a low voice. There shouldn't be any price to pay, right? Feng Yu shook her head. I also don't know what price the clan emperor will have to pay. The relationship between the 9 Yang Palace King and the 9 Yang Goddesses is extremely good. It must have been the 9 Yang Goddesses who told him this method. If the 9 Yang Palace King is really in a hurry to break through, then he can do anything in the end. Duchess Li Xuang and little Yuxiang both understood at this moment that it is not that the Divine Moon Clan Emperor hates Qin Yun. Instead, he is filled with vigilance towards Qin Yun. Sister Feng Yu, don't worry. I know little Yun very well. It's impossible for him to do such a thing. Yu Wulan said. I've known him for a long time. It's also because of him that I am who I am today. Feng Yu sighed. I hope so. To be honest, the clan emperor also doesn't wish to become enemies with the 9 Yang Palace King. After all, the 9 Yang Palace King's current performance can be considered a rare hero in the Divine Desolate. She still admires the 9 Yang Palace King quite a bit. Furthermore, the relationship between the Guang Han Palace and the 9 Yang Palace King is extremely deep, and our Divine Moon Clan can be considered to be in an alliance with the Guang Han Palace. If there is a conflict between the Clan Emperor and the 9 Yang Palace King, it will be very difficult for us. Yu Wulan now knows the difficulties of the Clan Emperor. They can't help at all. They can only hope that the Divine Moon Clan Emperor and Qin Yun won't clash. Sister Feng Yu, you also went to look for that kind of ancient coffin? Little Yuxiang asked. I found one. I handed it over to the Clan Emperor. The Clan Emperor is waiting for us at the Divine Sun Heavenly Island. Feng Yu said. Our Divine Moon Clan has a total of 7. Once the other kings return to the Divine Sun Heavenly Island, we will be more or less complete. Can those clan spirits really restrain the 9 heavens divine demons? The 9 heavens divine demons are simply too terrifying. If not for little Yun, we wouldn't have been able to defeat them. Little Yuxiang said. The 9 heavens divine demons that were dispatched this time were all elites, but now they have all been killed. The 9 Yang Palace King was trapped in the curse of the 10 statues, yet he still managed to grasp the method to suppress the 9 heavens divine demons so quickly. He is truly a genius. Feng Yu did not hide her admiration for Qin Yun at all. Chapter 2299. Qin Yun did not know the reason why those powerful races gathered on Divine Sun Celestial Island. He only guessed that it had something to do with the birth of the third myriad realm's Divine Sunday. According to his judgment, a few powerful races had sent their race spirits to the Divine Yang Celestial Island. Perhaps they were also aiming for the third myriad realm's Divine Sunday. Qin Yun did not go far after leaving the Divine Moon Clan ship. He was still a little worried. The 9 heavens god beasts suffered a huge loss on the Divine Moon ship. Many batches of them died, and those who died were elites, and they died very quickly. The 9 heavens god demon would definitely not let the matter rest so easily. If I had known earlier, I wouldn't have wasted that space divine power orb. In order to show off his strength, Qin Yun used a spatial divine power pearl to escape. It's alright. At least you can make that king look at you in a different light. Ling Yuner laughed tenderly. Xiao Yun, the girls of the Divine Moon Clan are all very beautiful. You should think of a way to stay on the ship for a while longer. No matter how beautiful she is, she's just that. Qin Yun said with smile. I have seen too many beauties, causing me to be unable to tell who is more beautiful. I also like round faces like Sister Steamed Bun, I can pinch them. The girls of the Divine Moon Clan are all born from the Divine Moon Clan's secret method. Is that why they are so beautiful? Ling Yuner said. She really wanted to stay on the ship. Qin Yun is only following the divine moon ship and maintaining a certain distance. If the divine moon ship is attacked, he can rush over to help immediately. Qin Yun, who was inside the heavenly leaping shuttle, was fiddling with the godly monarch's spear. He felt that there was a need to improve the godly monarch's spear so that it had the ability to kill 9 heavens' divine demons. Qin Yun thought about it seriously and decided not to modify the God King's spear. Instead, he will refine some parts and install them on it. What could restrain the 9 heavens' godly demons was the Heavenly Law Divine Rune. Although the Heavenly Law Divine Rune was useful under normal circumstances, it consumed a lot of energy. He would only use it frequently when fighting against the 9 heavens' divine beasts. If he were to refine accessories, he would only need to take them out and install them when he wanted to attack the 9 heavens' godly demons. Qin Yun was bored in the heavenly leaping shuttle. He immediately began refining with the blue crystal. Previously, he had collected a lot of the blue crystals of the 9 heavens' godly demons and placed them in the Dan transformation heavenly furnace to refine many square crystals. The crystal had been refined by the pill transformation heavenly cauldron, making it even stronger than before. Back when Qin Yun refined the Sky Universe Overlord puppet, he had added 2 of them. They also had pretty good effects. Qin Yun was unable to refine it previously mainly because the 9 Sun Divine Hammer did not fuse with the Hammer Heavenly Dharma Divine Rune. Now, the 9 Sun Divine Hammer had also evolved. When he used the Divine Hammer and the Heavenly Universe Divine Flame, he could hammer that blue crystal. The reason why this blue crystal can be condensed is because the 9 heavens demon god has the power of the divine sun of the sky universe. This blue crystal, in essence, is a material from the divine sun of the sky universe. When Qin Yun forged the blue crystal, he could feel the power of the crystal even more. Fortunately, he had the celestial divine fire and the 9 sun divine hammer, so it was relatively easy for him. He refined a blue holster for the God King's spear. As long as the God King's spear is placed in the large holster, it can be combined into a large spear. Qin Yun felt that the blue crystal is very good, so he took the opportunity to add a bit into the God King's spear, making it even more sturdy and able to withstand even stronger energy burst. This small pistol looks like it was carved out of a sapphire. It is very exquisite. After combining with other components, it became a blue crystal large spear. Qin Yun carved the vibration Heavenly Dharma Divine Rune on the spear and then condensed a small black blade. He spent a great deal of effort to grind the small black blade into powder and mixed the powder into the bullet. Finally, he threw it into the Dan transformation heavenly furnace to further strengthen and refine it. This way, he refined many small black bullets. These small bullets are very small, only the size of a rice grain, but they have very strong penetrating power against the 9 heavens divine demons. Furthermore, these small bullets have the flame of the heavenly universe divine flame inside them. Qin Yun refined many bullets before. Every time he shot them, a large group of people would fall to the ground and wail in pain, all kinds of heads would explode. The bullets he refined are all targeted, so if they are hit, even if they don't die, they will still be in pain for a long time. Time is limited. I only made 100. Qin Yun feels that it is enough. The little black saber could be used in tandem. His 10 little black sabers were the truly terrifying ones. When they pierced into the bodies of the 9 heavens god beasts, they could sever their regenerative abilities. They could even devour their energy and release it to blast them to death. Of course, once the small black blade is used, it is also possible that it can't be taken back. Therefore, he has to use it cautiously. If he loses one, he will feel great heartache. After all, it took him a lot of heavenly blood to condense. Qin Yun followed the divine moon ship for a few days and tinkered with the bullets to restrain the 9 heavens divine demons. He added a set of accessories to the God King's spear so that it can more effectively attack the 9 heavens divine demons. Inside the heaven leaping shuttle, he saw a soul-chasing talisman. It is Yang Shiyu's soul-chasing talisman. The distance is quite close, about 2 or 3 days away. When Qin Yun thought about being able to see Yang Shiyu, his heart is filled with joy. He almost forgot to go to the Divine Sun Heavenly Island to find the Divine Moon Emperor. When he thought about how he was going to find the Divine Moon Emperor, Qin Yun's mood suddenly became heavy. Because he felt that this matter would definitely not go smoothly. Forget it, it's better not to go find the Divine Moon Emperor, so as not to damage the relationship between the Guang Han Palace and the Divine Moon Clan. If the Nine-Yang Divine Palace is in trouble, the Guang Han Palace will definitely help, and the Divine Moon Clan will also help the Guang Han Palace. If the relationship between the Guang Han Palace and the Divine Moon Clan is destroyed, the Nine-Yang Divine Palace will be besieged and there will be no helpers. Only the Guang Han Palace will come out. Qin Yun suddenly thought it through. Of course, he knows that the reason why the Divine Moon Emperor hates him is mainly because he is on guard against him. That is why he is so wary of him. Xiao Yun, maybe you can directly walk a different path. Ling Yuner smiled and said, give it a try. Maybe if you try to break through yourself, you will have an unexpected harvest. Great Beauty Yuner, this is not like you. Didn't you always advocate for me to flirt with the Divine Moon Emperor? Qin Yun said with a smile. Now is not the time to play around. Of course, I can't let you go find trouble, Ling Yuner said, but I think you should still go find her and explain things to her. Don't let her think too much. Qin Yun nodded and said, yes, because there are many people around her who have a close relationship with me. For example, Wulon and Aunt Xiao, they are all people that she values a lot. I have to find her and explain things clearly to clear up the misunderstanding. The heaven-leaping shuttle is flying in the sky, but Qin Yun is constantly paying attention to the situation on the surface of the sea. He suddenly realized that something is wrong with the calm sea. The Nine Heavens Divine Demon is here? Qin Yun can already sense a very strong aura surging out from the sea. He quickly came out of the heaven-leaping shuttle and opened his heavenly eye to look at the sea dyed red by the setting sun. Very quickly, Qin Yun saw an incomparably huge phantom wandering at the bottom of the sea through his heavenly eye. He could not help but feel astonished. What a big thing! Qin Yun said in alarm. What is that thing? It looks like a snake-shaped beast. Could it be a dragon? The deep-sea phantom he saw is very long, moreover, its body is very thick. The Divine Moon ship flying ahead is very big, but the thing in the sea is much bigger than that ship. Crash! The sea suddenly set off a huge wave. A huge creature suddenly leaped up from the bottom of the sea. It is a very large dragon. This dragon is blue in color, but different from the Divine Universe Heavenly Dragon. The Divine Universe Heavenly Dragon is a genuine dragon, but this dragon that came out from the bottom of the sea has blue crystal spikes all over its body. Its head is also very malevolent and ugly. It looks like a snake's head. What kind of thing is this? Qin Yun put away the heaven-leaping shuttle and took out the God King spear. He doesn't know if the God King spear can kill this strange dragon or not. Roar! The dragon flew to the sky and roared, then sprayed out a burst of intense blue gale. The gale swept towards the Divine Moon Race's flying ship. There are many blue light balls inside the gale. They are 9 Heavens Divine Demons. They are the kind of 9 Heavens Divine Demons with silver skin wearing blue crystal armor. There are a few hundred of them. It is clear that they are all elites. Qin Yun hastily rushed towards the Divine Moon ship. A white figure flew out of the ship. It is Feng Yu, who is wearing Fire Phoenix battle armor and holding a snow-white saber. A pair of phoenix wings appeared on Feng Yu's back, burning with intense flame. Her cultivation moon also appeared above her. Her moon has a phoenix totem. It is as if a phoenix was branded on the moon and transformed into a fire phoenix moon. The moment Feng Yu appeared, a gale blew all around. This gale is very hot. When it blows on a person's face, It is as painful as being splashed with boiling water. This Feng Yu's moon not only has phoenix power, it also has a very strong wind. No wonder it is called Wind Moon Marquis. I thought it was that kind of wind moon. Qin Yun looked at the distant Feng Yu and exclaimed in his heart. 9 Heavens Demon Races Divine General Yao Dragon, we meet again. Feng Yu's saber is more than 2 meters long, it is taller than her body. She is carrying it on her shoulder, it looks very domineering. Feng Yu has actually met this divine general, Yao Dragon, before, clearly they have fought once. Qin Yun heard that Feng Yu is going to retrieve the ancient coffin and will most likely encounter an attack on the way. Below the 9 Heavens Demon Monarchs, the strongest are demon lords and demon generals. Feng Yu has met Divine General Yao Dragon before and now she can come here. Clearly, she has defeated Divine General Yao Dragon. Feng Yu grasped the heavenly law inheritance? Qin Yun is now quietly approaching. He wants to help the Divine Moon ship. Because those 9 Heavens Divine Demons are attacking the Divine Moon ship. Wind Moon Marquis, your heavenly law war god has awakened? Divine General Yao Dragon suddenly transformed into a tall and sturdy silver-skinned man. He has a pair of silver dragon horns on his head. He is also wearing a blue crystal armor. Yes, he has awakened, Feng Yu said with sneer. Do you want to see how powerful Heavenly Law War God is? Divine General Yao Dragon laughed loudly and said, We Heavenly Law War Gods have been waiting for a very long time, finally one has awakened. We sent so many elites but they were all killed. It is clear that Heavenly Law War God is very strong. Chapter 2300. Feng Yu's talk about Heavenly Law Battle God awakening was a lie. Something like Heavenly Law Battle God was not something the Wind Moon Marquises could control, much less Duchess Li Xuang and company. Qin Yun immediately knew that Feng Yu was lying to Divine General Yao Long. Qin Yun approached the Divine Moon ship. The ship was protected by a very powerful barrier. It absorbed the divine power of the myriad worlds' divine suns during the day and was protected by the myriad heavens' divine moon at night. Ordinary 9 Heavens Divine Demons could not break the ship's defense. The few hundred 9 Heavens Divine Demons thought they would land on the Divine Moon ship and attack it, but they were all sent flying by the barrier. Qin Yun did not continue after seeing how strong the ship's defense was. He wanted to pay attention to Divine General Yao Long's situation. A 9 Heavens Divine Demon at Divine General Yao Long's level could pose a threat to the Divine Moon ship. Feng Yu was extremely powerful. Qin Yun had secretly probed her when he met her before and vaguely sensed that she had surpassed the Sacred God Realm. And above the Sacred God Realm was the very mysterious Dao God Realm. Qin Yun had only heard Bai Suxin mention it by chance. He knew nothing about the Dao God Realm, and the people around him were just like him, confused about the realm above the Sacred God Realm. If Feng Yu had Dao God Realm cultivation, she would not be in a sorry state even if she was no match for Divine General Yao Long. Qin Yun was worried that there were other powerful 9 Heavens Divine Demons hiding nearby. According to the conversation between Feng Yu and Divine General Yao Long, they had fought once and Divine General Yao Long was no match for them. But Divine General Yao Long was not afraid of Feng Yu at all. Clearly, he had a backup plan. If I can chase you away once, I can chase you away again. Feng Yu's cold voice contained great confidence in her might. The phoenix moon floating above her suddenly trembled. A pair of huge phoenix wings appeared on the moon, burning with intense phoenix fire. Qin Yun looked at the moon and felt very astonished. Because the moon was very special. Not only did it have a very powerful mental attack, it also had a corporeal flame. In other words, not only could it injure the soul, it could also have a corporeal flame attack. Divine General Yao Long gripped a pair of blue crystal rods with both hands and cackled sinisterly. Then, he suddenly appeared next to Feng Yu and swung his rods at her and the phoenix moon above her. Scram! Feng Yu shouted coldly and angrily. Her body and the phoenix moon above her head released an incomparably fierce flaming storm. That flaming storm seemed to have stirred up monstrous waves in the air, spreading in all directions with Feng Yu as the center. The group of 9 heavens divine beasts not far away from her were also enveloped by the flames and were sent flying far away. But the divine moon ship was fine. Divine General Bane Dragon's attack had no effect. Instead, it was blown away by the intense firestorm. Boom! The huge phoenix moon flapped its wings and shot out countless flaming feathers. Like 10,000 arrows, they enveloped the area where Divine General Yao Dragon was. God General Evil Dragon roared in pain. A blue crystal shield appeared around his body and blocked the attack in the air. Those flaming arrows were extremely huge. They were like huge pillars that smashed into the blue crystal shield, causing explosions to ring out continuously. Divine General Evil Dragon was already enveloped by wave after wave of explosions. The intense and scorching flames made him feel a burning pain when they blew on him. One must know that Qin Yun is very far away from the battlefield. After Qin Yun came into contact with the flaming gale, he was secretly alarmed because he sensed the heavenly Dharma divine power. This meant that Feng Yu had used the heavenly Dharma inheritance in her attack. Feng Yu also seemed to fuse with the intense flames. Her movement speed was extremely fast, and it was impossible to determine her location. Only when her saber suddenly slashed down did Qin Yun realize that she had arrived beside Divine General Evil Dragon. The saber slashed down like a phoenix's cry. Qin Yun found the powerful divine bird's aura very familiar. Yang Yang of the 9 Yang Divine Soul had such an aura. Only now did Qin Yun recall that Yang Yang was the 9th heaven Xian sparrow. Was it related to above the 9 heavens? One of the sun souls in the 9 suns was the 9th heaven Xian sparrow. Could Yang Yang's birth be related to above the 9 heavens? Qin Yun was puzzled. Divine General Evil Dragon was struck by the heavy saber, causing blue flashes to burst out from his body. Many blue crystals flew out. Phoenix Moon Wild Saber kept slashing, but the Phoenix Moon in the sky did not attack. Qin Yun could tell that the Phoenix Moon was used to protect the Divine Moon ship. As expected, Divine General Evil Dragon was no match for Feng Yu. His powerful body suffered violent slashes as blue crystals flew out one after another. Although he was no match for her, Divine General Evil Dragon's recovery speed was astonishing. The damaged blue crystal armor on his body took a long time to repair itself. The powerful divine power released by Feng Yu contained the Phoenix Moon Wind and Fire attributes, as well as powerful heavenly Dharma divine power. That was how she was able to suppress Divine General Evil Dragon. However, she was only able to suppress him. She was unable to completely destroy him. What made Divine General Evil Dragon powerful was that his blue crystal armor could recover extremely quickly. It would instantly recover after being slashed to smithereens. With such a defense, even if Divine General Evil Dragon was being suppressed, he could still retaliate. Divine General Evil Dragon's blue crystal rods were connected to his body. They similarly possessed terrifying regenerative powers. He could immediately recover after being slashed to smithereens. If Divine General Evil Dragon did not have such regenerative powers, he would have long been destroyed by Feng Yu. Feng Yu was indeed extremely powerful. Qin Yun concluded that even King White Sun, Bai Suxin, was not as powerful as Feng Yu. However, if Bai Suxin could surpass the peak sacred god bottleneck and reach a new realm, she might be able to destroy Divine General Evil Dragon if she grasped the heavenly Dharma inheritance. The sea of fire in front of them was Feng Yu's domain. She was like a fish in water in her own domain. Her whereabouts were difficult to grasp. Divine General Evil Dragon was also very vexed. He constantly roared and attacked randomly. Divine General Evil Dragon is very powerful, but this kind of 9 heavens divine fae is only able to survive by relying on their miraculous abilities. Qin Yun watched the battle from afar. He was also pondering how he could suppress Divine General Evil Dragon if he were to face him. If this continues, Feng Yu will not be able to wear him down and will be at a disadvantage. Ling Yuner said, "Last time, how long did Feng Yu and ominous Dragon Divine General spend to force him to flee?" Before Qin Yun met Yu Wulan, he discovered the battle from afar. It had been going on for several days. How many days will it take? Qin Yun could tell that both Divine General Evil Dragon and Feng Yu were prepared to fight a long battle. Divine General Evil Dragon is not stupid. He must be prepared to face Feng Yu this time. Feng Yu also knows that Divine General Evil Dragon is prepared, so she sent Feng Yu to protect the Divine Moon Ship. The Divine Moon Ship is not running around randomly. They must be worried that other powerful Nine Heavens Divine Fae are ambushing them. The Divine Moon Ship must be very important to them. So it is impossible that only Divine General Evil Dragon is coming. Qin Yun watched the battle while paying attention to the surroundings. It must be known that 3 batches of Nine Heavens Divine Fae were completely annihilated. The Nine Heavens Demon Emperor must have sensed it. Ling Yuner said, "Xiao Yun, the Nine Heavens Demon Emperor must know that the heavenly law war gods hidden in the ancient coffins have not awakened. But the Divine Moon Ship seems to have awakened a heavenly law war god, so it must be very important." Sure enough, Divine General Evil Dragon suddenly shouted, "Where is your heavenly law war god? Quickly take it out. You can't kill me. I can deal with you." Feng Yu shouted. It is very difficult for her to fight, but she is very stable because she has experienced it before. "You will need at least 3 days if you want to scare me away. Then let's bet, who will come faster, my reinforcements or your reinforcements?" Divine General Evil Dragon very proudly said with smile. "This place is very close to the Divine Sun Heavenly Island, what do you think?" Feng Yu said with sneer. "So what if it's the Divine Sun Heavenly Island? Many of the Divine Yang race and Nine Heavens Demon race's ships have been destroyed. Only the Divine Moon race did not suffer any losses. They will definitely not come to help." God General Yao Long laughed and said, "You humans seem to be united on the surface, but you fight openly and covertly. The situation is very bad." Feng Yu did not reply. Clearly she also thinks the same way. Qin Yun is surprised that many of Divine Sun race and Nine Heavenly race's ancient coffins have been plundered. "I want to go to the Divine Sun Heavenly Island as soon as possible." Qin Yun wants to find Yang Shuyue and make it in time for the 3rd Myriad Realm's Divine Sun to be born. Because Sky Universe Overlord is also a heavenly law battle god, Qin Yun wants Sky Universe Overlord to receive the baptism of the Myriad Realms Divine Sunday. "Xiao Yun, how are you going to attack?" Ling Yuner asked. Qin Yun cannot go to the Divine Sun Heavenly Island just like that, so he must scare away Divine General Evil Dragon. "That's simple, I will use my Sky Universe Overlord." Qin Yun laughed and then released Sky Universe Overlord. Sky Universe Overlord looks like a tall and sturdy war god. His skin is purplish red. He is releasing Divine Universe Purple energy. His body is covered in dark blue crystal armor. His helmet looks like a mighty dragon head. Both his arms and legs are like dragon claws. He looks very domineering, especially that Divine Universe Purple energy, when combined with his tyrannical dragon power. He looks even more dreadful. Qin Yun is now inside Sky Universe Overlord's body. He is controlling this huge war god. While Divine General Evil Dragon is feeling very proud, Sky Universe Overlord suddenly rushed into the Flame Sea and sent a palm attack towards Divine General Evil Dragon. Divine General Evil Dragon was sent into the sea. This sudden appearance of Sky Universe Overlord caused Feng Yu to jump in fright. Feng Yu also doesn't know what the thing in front of her is, she only feels that it is very mighty and domineering. She is momentarily intimidated by that kind of aura. Roar. Divine General Evil Dragon suddenly changed back to his huge body, turned into a blue crystal demon dragon, and rushed out of the sea. This is your heavenly law battle god? Divine General Evil Dragon's huge demon dragon body coiled in the sky. Feng Yu is certain that this is not heavenly law battle god. Chapter 2301. Qin Yun could receive Feng Yu's mental voice transmission, but he did not reply. Divine General Pestilence Dragon, who had transformed into his true form, was also astonished. He had seen the heavenly law battle god that Feng Yu had mentioned. This heavenly law war god was different from the one he had seen before. It was not the heavenly law war god they were familiar with. Furthermore, the heavenly law battle god had a very strong divine universe purple chi, as well as the power of the divine sun. What puzzled Divine General Evil Dragon the most was that the heavenly law battle god wasn't like this at all. However, he felt that the heavenly law battle god in front of him was very powerful. Qin Yun took out his 9-Sun Divine Hammer and let Sky Universe Overlord hold it. 9-Sun Divine Hammer can become very big. It is also very convenient for Heavenly Universe Overlord to use. Divine General Yao Dragon and Feng Yu exclaimed inwardly when they saw the 9-Sun Divine Hammer, because they could tell with a glance that the 9-Sun Divine Hammer that was emitting blue light was covered by a layer of powerful blue crystal, and it was emitting a strong heavenly law divine power. The 9-Sun Divine Hammer was fused with a complete heavenly law divine rune. Furthermore, Qin Yun had carved vibration heavenly law divine rune on it. That was why the heavenly law god power that was released was very strong, especially when it was held by Sky Universe Overlord, absorbing the god power in Sky Universe Overlord's body. The aura was especially terrifying. Qin Yun controlled the Empyrean Overlord and flew high into the sky. In the blink of an eye, he disappeared high up in the sky. Divine General Evil Dragon opened his mouth and spat out blue balls of light in a frenzy. The blue orbs of light exploded in the air, like a blue glowing flower blooming. At the same time, it was accompanied by thunder and lightning. The pressure of the demonic force was also very terrifying. It rushed down from the sky, causing the sea to churn even more violently. Sky Universe Overlord is very high up in the sky. After being supported by Qin Yun's supergravity, it suddenly dropped down. The Heavenly Universe Overlord, who was falling down, held onto the 9-Sun Divine Hammer that had become extremely huge with both of his hands, and borrowed the impact of the fall to descend. The Sky Universe Overlord suddenly descended at a very fast speed, striking Divine General Yao Dragon's head like a beam of light. The head of the 9-Sun Divine Hammer burst out with a strong purplish-red light, accompanied by blue lightning that surged in all directions. The deafening sound of the Divine Hammer falling shook the sky. It was as if a part of the sky was about to collapse. Through the Empyrean Overlord, Qin Yun used the heaven-shaking stance of the Heaven Annihilation 9 styles. Divine General Yao Long roared angrily as the protective blue crystal plate on his head cracked and flew away. The gigantic head of the demonic dragon exploded. Damn it! Divine General Yao Dragon also discovered that his enlarged form was useless. His body was still being beaten to a pulp, and because his body was so huge it was full of openings. Divine General Bane Dragon reverted to his human form. The long staves in his hands suddenly transformed into 2 spears that he thrust at the Sky Universe Overlord. Qin Yun controlled the Heavenly Universe Overlord to wave his hand and blocked the 2 spears. The Sky Universe Overlord had fused with 2 clan spirits, which were the bodies of 2 heavenly law war gods, so its defense was extremely strong. Also, the Sky Universe Overlord's body had fused with the Divine Cosmic Thunder Dragon's dragon bone. That kind of lightning power was also very strong. Qin Yun still has not infused the 9-dragon Heavenly Origin Formations power into Sky Cosmos Overlord's body, or it would be even more powerful. Your Heavenly Law Battle God is truly powerful, Divine General Bane Dragon said. then turned around and flew away. Don't even think of running. Qin Yun sneered in his heart and immediately chased after him. He still has not had enough fun, so how can he let Divine General Banedragon go? Just as Qin Yun was about to chase, a blue whale as large as a mountain suddenly flew out of the sea. When this blue whale opened its mouth wide, it could completely swallow 1,000 zhang tall mountain. The blue whale's current target is the Divine Moon ship. Qin Yun promptly threw the 9-sun Divine Hammer towards the huge blue whale. Feng Yu also controlled her Phoenix Moon to charge at the blue whale. Boom! Boom! 2 loud sounds echoed as the blue whale was knocked away. The blue whale let out a roar and dived into the deep sea, then quickly disappeared. Divine General Yao Dragon also ran far away. It can be seen that the blue whale is a very powerful 9 heavenly divine demon. It suddenly appeared just now to create an opportunity for Divine General Yao Dragon to escape. Originally, there were still some 9 heavenly divine demons attacking the Divine Moon ship, but when the blue whale appeared, they all dove into the sea and followed the blue whale into the deep sea. Whether it is Divine General Yao Dragon or the blue whale, they are both very difficult to kill. The reason why Qin Yun wants to chase after Divine General Yao Dragon is to test Sky Cosmic Overlord's strength one step further. The sea gradually became calm again. Night fell, the distant light of the myriad heavens Divine Moon shone on the mysterious pitch-black Divine Yang Celestial Sea. It is like a thin silver veil covering the surface of the sea. This place is very close to the Divine Yang Celestial Island, so it is also very high above the sloping sea. This way, it is also very close to the myriad heavens Divine Moon. Therefore, the myriad heavens Divine Moon Qin Yun can see now is much bigger than before. Feng Yu floated in the sky and let out a long breath. Then she looked at Sky Cosmic Overlord and said, "I know you are the 9 Yang Palace King. Don't misunderstand little Yuxiang and the others, it was not them who exposed your identity." There is a large blue crystal pearl in the middle of Sky Cosmic Overlord's chest. It looks like Sky Cosmic Overlord's energy source, but it is not. At this moment, the pearl is releasing rays of light. Qin Yun flew out of the pearl and landed on Sky Cosmic Overlord's shoulder. "I didn't expect that I still couldn't hide it from you." Qin Yun is not wearing a mask and said with a faint smile, "I thought you had already left, I didn't expect you to still be nearby. You think that I can't protect the Divine Moon ship, right?" Feng Yu is still incomparably surprised when she saw Qin Yun come out. She already guessed that Sky Cosmic Overlord is Qin Yun's, but after seeing it with her own eyes, she is still astonished. She is very curious as to why this 9 Yang Palace King has such a powerful thing. "It's not that I look down on you, I just speculated that the 9 Heavens Demon race will send out a very strong guy based on my experience," Qin Yun said. "Your guess is correct." Feng Yu also admitted. She sighed and said, "Many thanks for your help, our Divine Moon race owes you once again." Qin Yun said, "If you are truly grateful to me, don't mention this matter to your emperor." "Why?" Feng Yu's eyebrows are slightly raised, her solemn phoenix eyes are filled with doubt. "I'm worried that the misunderstanding with her will deepen," Qin Yun said. "You are afraid that she will think that you are deliberately trying to curry favor with her, right?" Feng Yu thought about it carefully and asked. "She is filled with wariness towards me, causing her to feel disgusted with me. Therefore, she is very sensitive right now. Even if I help you a few times, she will feel that I have impure intentions," Qin Yun said. "She does have such thoughts, but don't underestimate her rationality. She will not be affected by other negative emotions. She is the Divine Moon race's emperor, not an ordinary woman. Her thoughts are not something that you can guess." Feng Yu's voice raised a bit, it is slightly stern. Clearly, she does not wish for Qin Yun to think that their emperor is an ungrateful person. "When you see the Divine Moon race's emperor, tell her that I, Qin Yun, do not have any improper thoughts towards her. I do want to talk to her and ask if there is any other way to help me fuse with the divine moon bloodline divine origin. Now that I see that she is so sensitive about this, I will also dispel this thought. I will walk my own path and will not pester her. Tell her to be at ease, don't get into conflict with the people around her because of me. Qin Yun stored away the heavenly universe overlord and released the heaven-leaping shuttle. He stood on the white jade gourd. After Feng Yu heard Qin Yun's words, she is extremely surprised. She still does not dare to believe it and asked, "You really don't have any thoughts towards her?" Qin Yun said with a smile. "I said it before, I am only looking for her to discuss if there is any other way to fuse with the divine moon bloodline divine origin. After I came into contact with second sister and little Yuxiang, I also felt that she is very sensitive, so I do not intend to look for her. I, Qin Yun, have lived for 9 lifetimes. What kind of bitterness have I not experienced? What kind of difficulties have I not experienced? Those so-called heavenly punishments were all broken by me one by one. A mere 10 devil curse, I can definitely break them." Qin Yun's words are filled with vigor. It has a heroic spirit that makes people admire him. At this moment, Feng Yu also believes in Qin Yun, because when she stared at Qin Yun's clear and bright eyes, she could see an indescribable firmness and determination. "I will definitely pass on the message to the clan emperor. Furthermore, I will request for more gifts from the clan emperor." Feng Yu stared at Qin Yun's eyes for a long time before replying, "I will do my best to let you meet her. I won't meet her in case the misunderstanding deepens." Qin Yun said. "The emperor is a reasonable person. She was indeed sensitive before, but she can understand." Feng Yu said. "We will talk about it when the time comes. Farewell." Qin Yun entered the heaven-leaping shuttle and flew towards the divine sun heavenly island. Feng Yu returned to the divine moon ship and let it fly at the very front. She also made up her mind to arrange for Qin Yun and the divine moon emperor to meet in secret, and she will also participate in the secret discussion. 2 days later, the divine moon race's ships arrived one after another. Qin Yun also felt a lot more at ease. They are now only 1 day away from the divine sun heavenly island. The divine moon race has a few large ships with powerful dukes or kings inside. Even if the 9 heavens divine demons besiege them, it would be difficult for them to gain anything. The 9 sun heavenly clan and the divine sun race did not come to help. It seems like their losses are really great and they are very jealous of the divine moon race. Qin Yun shook his head and said with a smile. At this moment, Qin Yun sensed a spatial fluctuation in the main control room. After the spatial fluctuation appeared, 2 auras came over. 2 figures suddenly appeared. Yang Shiyu has arrived, and there is also a charming moon elf who looks exactly like her. Yang Shiyu's 2 moon elves have fused with spatial Xian ants and grasped spatial power. Therefore, they can easily enter Qin Yun's heaven-leaping shuttle. Yang Shiyu is wearing white battle armor and has a long ponytail. With a single glance, it is clear that she came with the divine moon race's ship and came to find Qin Yun. Her beautiful eyes are as gentle as water as she gazed at Qin Yun. Her exceptionally beautiful face has a sweet smile. "Big Sister Yang, I finally get to see you." Qin Yun very happily hugged the beauty. At this time, the long-legged beautiful moon elf has also been put away. Chapter 2302. Inside the divine moon ship, Feng Yu, Duchess Li Shuang and little Yuxiang are together. She is still thinking about how Qin Yun defeated Demon Dragon Divine General. "Sister Feng Yu, we're almost at the Divine Sun Heavenly Island," little Yuxiang lightly shouted, interrupting Feng Yu's contemplation. Feng Yu lightly nodded. "What are you thinking about?" Yu Wulon said with smile. "I'm thinking about the big thing the 9 Sun Palace King released earlier." Feng Yu casually replied. "Ah? You want the big thing of the 9 Sun Palace King? How much?" Little Yuxiang covered her mouth and giggled. It is clear that she was referring to something else. Feng Yu rolled her eyes and then vigorously pinched little Yuxiang. Yu Wulan also laughed nonstop. Her waist was also vigorously pinched by Feng Yu. I mean that very big puppet, Feng Yu lightly said. You two girls, why are you so bad? Duchess Li Shuang looked at Yu Wulan and asked, Did your little brother Yun have such a powerful big puppet before? No. Yu Wulan shook her head. I don't know what it is, but it seems to be much stronger than our Heaven Law War God. Feng Yu said, I'll have to ask him next time. Yu Wulan and the others only know that Qin Yun once obtained 2 Heaven Law War God fragments, but they did not associate it with them. Because in their opinion, even if Qin Yun could repair it, it would be impossible for him to do so in such a short period of time. They also did not mention this matter to Feng Yu. Divine Moon Clan's ships began to slow down. They are very close to the Divine Sun Heavenly Island. Qin Yun and Yang Shi Yu are intimate inside the heaven-leaping shuttle, intoxicated in the world of 2 people filled with boundless tenderness. They are intoxicated in their deep affection and do not know the passage of time. After being separated for so many days, they have fallen into a crazy sweetness. After a night, 2 myriad realms' divine suns rose in the early morning, shining with intense light, illuminating the amorous main control room inside the heaven-leaping shuttle. Qin Yun woke up from his sweet dream, then hugged the tender beauty beside him and kissed her enchanting smile on her red lips. Yang Shi Yu did not sleep, because she had to be vigilant. She also knew that Qin Yun must be very tired from the journey, so she let Qin Yun completely relax and rest. The divine Yang Heavenly Island is right in front. Yang Shi stood up and looked ahead. She smiled and said, Yuelan is also on the island. Yuelan is also here? Isn't she in the Guanghan Palace? Qin Yun thought that Xiao Yuelan was in seclusion to comprehend the heavenly law inheritance. When Xiao Yuelan entered the heavenly law universe, she and the others obtained the heavenly law inheritance. However, they could not easily grasp it like Qin Yun. She told me to go to the Guanghan Palace and bring her here. After Yang Shi Yu got up, she picked up her clothes and elegantly put them on. Big Sister Yang, what's going on with the Divine Sun Sky Island? So many of them are gathered there, what are they doing? Qin Yun said, I only know that the 3rd myriad world's Divine Sun is about to be born. Yang Shi Yu wore a simple gauze dress. Her beautiful and exquisite jade-white body was faintly discernible under the gauze. Come on, let's take a bath first. I'll tell you later. Yang Shi Yu's slender jade-like legs gracefully stepped on the ground. Her steps were light and her chiffon skirt fluttered in the wind. Her beautiful face carried a gentle smile as she walked to the bedside and pulled Qin Yun up. Qin Yun brought Yang Shi Yu to a large room. There was a pool there and the 2 of them soaked in the warm pool. Yang Shi Yu slowly coiled up her long hair and said leisurely, The divine Yang Celestial Island has gathered the race emperors of many powerful races. These thearchs had received the news from the myriad world's divine Sunday. When the 3rd myriad world's divine sun is born, something will descend on the divine Sun's celestial island. It's mainly for the strong races to fight against the 9 heavens' divine demons. Chaos race, divine sword race and divine star race. Can these fellows also obtain something from the myriad realms' divine sun? Qin Yun swam to Yang Shi Yu's side and hugged the beautiful Yang Shi Yu. Yes, they also want a share, so it is very likely that there will be a battle on the divine Yang Celestial Island. Also, the divine Yang race's Tharch guessed that someone from the myriad domain's divine Yang land would descend. Yang Shi Yu said, The descent of the 9 heavens demon race into the divine desolate also brought great pressure to the myriad realms' divine sun. Qin Yun previously heard from the divine presiding that there are people above the myriad realms' divine Sunday. Those people are very mysterious and also very powerful. It is said that they can control the myriad realms' divine sun and even promote its evolution. As for who those people are, Qin Yun is not clear. He only knows that they are definitely very strong. Is the divine presiding also here? Qin Yun asked again. The divine presiding's myriad heaven's divine punishment flag was bestowed by the myriad realms' divine Sunday. Of course he will come. Yang Shiryu helped Qin Yun rub his back and said with a charming smile, Xiao Yun, you weren't invited, are you feeling a bit dissatisfied? Qin Yun lightly snorted and said, Of course. They don't even put me, the Nine Yang Palace King, in their eyes. Yang Shiryu hugged Qin Yun from behind and kissed his handsome face. She said with a smile, The divine presiding originally wanted to invite you, but after knowing about your 10 images, he didn't let you come. He also thought that you were in seclusion. Qin Yun gently caressed Yang Shiryue's hand and said with a sigh, Big Sister Yang, the reason I came to the Divine Sun Heavenly Island this time was to find the Divine Moon Emperor. However, after I saw Second Sister, I learned that the Dharch of the Divine Moon Clan was wary of me, so I gave up on that idea. Yang Shiryue naturally knew why Qin Yun was looking for the Divine Moon Clan's great emperor. He mainly wanted to see if there was a way to fuse with the Divine Moon bloodline's divine origin. I met the Divine Moon Clan's empress once, but I didn't mention you to her. Yang Shiryu frowned slightly and said, If she's wary of you, it means that that method is really feasible. That's why she's so against you. Qin Yun said with smile, Then I will think of another way to break through. I'm already very happy to see Big Sister Yang on Divine Yang Celestial Island. I'm even happier than when I broke through. Yang Shiryu smiled sweetly before kissing Qin Yun's lip. She said with a charming smile, Little Yun, why is your mouth getting sweeter and sweeter? That's because I was kissed by Big Sister Yang. Qin Yun giggled. I really can't believe that you, the Nine Sun Palace King, can say such words. Yang Shiryu giggled. Qin Yun suddenly thought of an important matter and said, Big Sister Yang, I'm cultivating my spirit body. I'm just a bit away from success. Help me. Ling Yun suddenly cheered happily because Qin Yun finally thought of this matter. Great Beauty Yun can't wait to come out, right? Yang Shiryu looked at Qin Yun with a smile and said, Yun I'll help you cultivate your spirit body. You have to take good care of little Yun in the future. Big Sister Yang, I will definitely take good care of him. Ling Yun said sweetly. After Qin Yun and Yang Shiryu finished bathing, they put on their clothes and went to a secret room. Qin Yun released the spirit body. The spirit body is currently inside a large crystal pearl. It looks exactly the same as Ling Yun and has a pair of transparent spirit wings. It hasn't been completely refined yet, mainly because it lacks spirit blood. It will take a long time to condense. Yang Shiryu released her 2 moon elves and then released her spirit blood and dripped it on Ling Yun spirit body. Little Yun, let's also bleed together. This will be faster. Yang Shiryu said. Qin Yun nodded and released his heavenly blood. Yang Shiryu is not surprised to see Qin Yun's heavenly blood. What surprised Qin Yun is that Yang Shiryu's blood also has a faint blue glow. It is also heavenly blood, but it doesn't have Qin Yun's blue. Big Sister Yang, you also cultivated heavenly blood, Qin Yun said in surprise. Not as strong as you. Yang Shiryu tilted her head and smiled. Little Yun's heavenly blood is still powerful, stronger than me and my spirit body. The spirit blood released by Yang Shiryu's 2 moon elves also has a faint blue glow. It is also transforming towards heavenly blood. Qin Yun said, Can I transfer Yun-er's consciousness now? Yang Shiryu nodded lightly. You can transfer it now. Ling Yun asked at this time. Wait, Big Sister Yang, how about my spirit body? My body wants to be as good as yours. I want to have snow-white long legs like your moon elves. As good as me, your legs must be longer than my moon elves. Yang Shiryu smiled and said, Great Beauty Yun, don't worry. Ling Yun is very happy and allowed Qin Yun to transfer her to the spirit body. With the cooperation of Qin Yun and Ling Yun, the transfer was completed very quickly. The Nether Sun Tao spirit that has accompanied him for many years has finally left his consciousness space. This made Qin Yun feel quite emotional. A lot of spirit blood has been injected into the spirit body, and it has also formed the regeneration ability of the spirit blood. With the following cultivation, it will soon be able to produce a lot of blood. Ling Yun opened her eyes and came out of the transparent crystal ball. She giggled like a crazy girl. Her figure is indeed very good. She is very tall and curvaceous. Her face is her original face, charming and pleasant. She has a pair of mischievous eyes and the shape of her face is a little round. It feels very good to pinch. At this time, she touched her body randomly, feeling her beautiful and fiery figure. Seeing this, Yang Shiyu chuckled again and again. "Thank you, big sister Yang." Ling Yun immediately pounced on Yang Shiyu and hugged her. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, "This spirit body, I was the one who helped you create it. You actually didn't thank me." "Thank you, my Xiao Yun." Ling Yun smiled and pounced on Qin Yun again. She hugged Qin Yun tightly and said with a mischievous smile, "Xiao Yun, feel my body." Qin Yun pinched her face and said, "You better behave yourself and don't go around doing bad things, understand?" "Got it." Ling Yun is very happy. Then, she turned around and turned into a very small spirit and flew back into Qin Yun's illusory space. She is still not fully formed, she still needs to cultivate even stronger spirit blood and adapt to her spirit body. "Xiao Yun, let's go to the Divine Sun Heavenly Island and find Yuelon first," Yang Shiyu said. "Other than Yuelon, who else came from the Guanghan Palace?" Qin Yun asked. Chapter 2303. Yang Shiyu has never seen Qin Yun's Sky Universe Overlord. Qin Yun also gave her a simple explanation. After Yang Shiyu understood, she realized that the Heavenly Universe Overlord's previous life was that bone dragon. At that time, she had even participated in the transformation of that bone dragon. "Xiao Yun, our moon palace also has something similar to the Heavenly Law War God. It was previously hidden inside the Mother Moon." Yang Shiyu said, "Ours are not humanoid. Could it be beast type?" Qin Yun was suddenly curious. "It's a flower, a very big flower. It looks like a Chinese rose." Yang Shiyu was in the main control room. She looked at the Divine Sun Celestial Island in front of her and said, "That flower has the power to restrain the 9 heavens' divine demons, but it is not flexible. It can only be used for defense. The defense of the heavens' divine moon should be very strong, right?" Qin Yun said with a smile. "The 9 heavens' divine demons will definitely not be able to break in." Yang Shiyu shook her head lightly. "The 9 heavens' divine demons have not attacked the heavenly divine moon, but we cannot guarantee that we will not be breached. The gods desolate is so big, there must be many powerful fellows." Qin Yun gently held Yang Shiyue's hand and said, "That's why you are cooperating with the Divine Moon Clan?" The Divine Moon Clan has already moved into the Divine Moon of the heavens. From now on, we can be considered as one. With the Divine Moon Clan's Heavenly Law War God, at least we don't have to be afraid of the 9 heavens' divine demons. Yang Shiyu nodded. Qin Yun was not surprised by this cooperation. The Emperor of the Divine Moon Clan accepted Yu Wulan and Xiao Xian Qin as disciples and made them the Divine Moon Heavenly Maiden. This was an extremely high position, just like a king. This was to show her attitude. "Big Sister Yang, I won't have any conflict with Divine Moon Clan's Emperor, you can rest assured," Qin Yun said. "She more or less knows about your relationship with us. She is also somewhat dissatisfied with this, but she didn't say much. We told you about the fusion of the Divine Moon bloodline's divine origin, causing her to be on guard against you in advance. Perhaps she has some resentment towards us in her heart." Yang Shiyu sighed faintly. She stood up and leaned on Qin Yun's chest. Qin Yun hugged Yang Shiyu. He could feel Yang Shiyue's worry. She was worried that he would not be able to cross the threshold of 10 images. Then go and tell her that I won't pester her. I don't have any thoughts about her. Tell her to be at ease. Qin Yun said, if she doesn't believe me, I can sign a soul contract with her. Let's talk about it when we see Yuelon. Yang Shiyu smiled sweetly and said, maybe Yuelon had a good chat with her. Qin Yun did not hope for anything. Although he had never seen the Divine Moon Clan's Empress with his own eyes, he could sense her strong resistance. Xiao Yun, you can hand over the Sky Universe Overlord to me. I'll bring it back to the Moon Palace and place it in the Moon Core. Let's see if it can strengthen you a little. Yang Shiyu's jade-like fingers drew circles on Qin Yun's chest. After this matter is over, I will bring it back for you. It would be even better if it can be strengthened. Qin Yun doesn't have any method to strengthen Sky Universe Overlord now. The heaven-leaping shuttle was getting closer and closer to the Divine Yang Celestial Island. They could already see the tall Divine Yang Peak. The Divine Yang Peak looked like a spinning, cone-shaped mountain, like a tornado. The bottom was very thin, but the top was very wide. Even so, this mountain was able to very steadily persevere in the middle of the Divine Yang Celestial Island. So this is the Divine Yang Peak. It doesn't look like a mountain at all. After Qin Yun saw the Divine Yang Peak clearly, he also felt that it is very strange. The Divine Yang Peak is very tall. If the Myriad Realms' Divine Sun was above the Divine Yang Peak, a lot of the light rays would be absorbed by the Divine Yang Peak. This mountain has been turned upside down many years ago, so the peak has become the bottom. Yang Shiryu said, this mountain is cone-shaped, the tip of the cone is stuck to the ground, it looks like the entire mountain has been turned upside down. When Qin Yun saw it earlier, he had this kind of feeling. He never expected that it would really be turned upside down. The Divine Yang Celestial Island is very big. Qin Yun and Yang Shiryu can now see many huge ships floating above the Divine Yang Celestial Island. Many dukes and kings from strong races have come. Yang Shiryu sighed and said, if they fight, it will definitely be a fierce battle. Is the Primal Chaos race also here? Qin Yun asked. Yang Shiryu pointed to the front and said, many of those ships belong to the Primal Chaos race and the Divine Sword race. The Divine Star race people should be in the stars high up in the sky. Qin Yun is worried about the Nine Heavens Demon Emperor. The Nine Heavens Demon Emperor is very strong. If he appeared here and started a massacre, the Divine Yang Celestial Island might be destroyed. If the Nine Heavens Demon Emperor did not appear, it means that the Heavenly Law War Gods are very strong, so strong that the Nine Heavens Demon Emperor does not dare to approach. After the heaven-leaping shuttle became invisible, it has already flown to the east shore of the Divine Yang Celestial Island and landed in a forest on the shore. Just as they landed, a silver crescent moon mark appeared on Yang Shiryu's forehead. This is something the Divine Moon Race gave to the Guanghan Palace for communication. It can be used even during the day. Yang Shiryu touched her forehead and said with smile, Yuelon is here. She said she will be here soon. Xiao Yuelon is also constantly paying attention to the soul-chasing talisman. When she sensed that Qin Yun and Yang Shiryu are approaching the Divine Yang Celestial Island, she immediately rushed over. Not long after, Xiao Yuelon arrived at the forest on the east shore of the Divine Yang Celestial Island and landed beside the heaven-leaping shuttle. Qin Yun immediately controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle and teleported Xiao Yuelon in. Xiao Yuelon is wearing a white mask, her long hair draped over her shoulders, and she is wearing a simple and elegant white dress. She is not dressed for battle. It can be seen that the situation of the Divine Yang Celestial Island is still stable, at least there is no atmosphere of a great battle. Xiao Yuelon took off her mask. Her ice-cold and beautiful face suddenly turned charming and captivating. It is as if hundreds of flowers have bloomed after the ice and snow have melted. It is filled with tender and alluring beauty. Xiao Yun. Xiao Yuelon smiled tenderly. Qin Yun also went over and hugged her, he even kissed her. Yang Shiyu smiled lightly and said, Yuelon, you came so fast. Xiao Yuelon smiled naughtily. I was afraid that you would be bullied by little husband to the point that you couldn't take it anymore. Naughty. Yang Shiyu went over and pinched her but she said with a smile, You are underestimating me too much. That means my poor little husband is going to be bullied badly by big sister Yang? Xiao Yuelon giggled, then kissed Yang Shiyu's face and said with smile, Our beautiful big sister Yang has become even more beautiful after being nourished. Qin Yun slapped Xiao Yuelon's butt and scolded with a smile. Yuelon, how long have you been in the divine Yang celestial island? What have you done? You didn't go around scourging girls, did you? Xiao Yuelon curled her lips and said, Xiao Yun, if you spank me again, believe it or not, I'll release you Xiaoling. I'm not afraid of your you Xiaoling. Qin Yun chuckled. Really? Xiaoling is much worse than me. I'll let her come out and teach an honest person like you a lesson. Xiao Yuelon waved her hand and released a blonde long-eared sun elf. Yu Xiaoling's extremely charming face is filled with a blurred beauty. Her upper body is simply wrapped in white cloth, and she is wearing a very short white skirt. Even Yang Shiyu can't help but take a few more glances at her pair of perfect long legs. Xiaoling, get him. Xiao Yuelon giggled. Little husband, I missed you so much. The moment Yu Xiaoling came out, she flapped her pair of beautiful fairy wings and rushed towards Qin Yun with a charming smile. Yuner, get her. Qin Yun laughed and immediately released Ling Yuner. The moment Yuner came out, she hugged Yu Xiaoling and rolled around on the ground, playing. Just like this, the two rogue elves met their playmates and played to their heart's content. Big Sister Yang, quickly release your two moon elves. Xiao Yuelon pulled Yang Shiyu's hand and shouted, My moon elves are different from your elves. If they stay with your elves for too long, they will turn bad. Yang Shiyu covered her mouth and laughed. Yuelon, did you go see the Divine Moon Clan's emperor? Qin Yun asked. I just saw her, Sister Fengyue is also here. Xiao Yuelon said with a naughty smile. My good Xiao Yun, did you know that Fengyue, Xiao Yuxiang and Duchess Li Suang are all speaking up for you? Alright. Yang Shiyu also knows that Qin Yun helped the Divine Moon ship escape. After Qin Yun heard this, his expression sank and he shook his head. This is not a good thing. The more they speak up for me, the more the Divine Moon Clan's emperor will resist me. Sister Fengyue helped you pass on a message to Sister Shangyun. You said that you wouldn't pester her, right? Xiao Yuelon said. What's Sister Shangyun's reaction? Yang Shiyu asked. Sister Shangyun? Qin Yun said with a frown. Is that the name of the Divine Moon Clan's emperor? Her name is Yu Shangyun. She's a great beauty with boundless fragrance. Xiao Yuelon said. She didn't have any reaction, she only lightly replied, That's good. She also promised Sister Fengyue that she would thank you and give you some things. Qin Yun stroked his chin, his eyebrows are filled with worry as he muttered. Not good. Yang Shiyu said. Xiao Yun, don't worry. Sister Shangyun will definitely not be wary of you anymore. Qin Yun shook his head. No, she might think that I'm playing hard to get. Maybe she will be even more wary of me. Don't think too much. Let's go to the Divine Sun Peak first and bring you to see Sister Shangyun. Xiao Yuelon also became serious and said, The third Divine Sun is about to appear, we must seize this opportunity. Xiao Yun, especially you must make good use of this opportunity. What opportunity? Qin Yun knew that after the birth of the Myriad Realms' Divine Sun, it would definitely bring about something else. However, he did not know what kind of good opportunity it would bring. I don't know either. In short, with me and Big Sister Yang here, we will definitely be able to help you reap a lot of benefits, Xiao Yuelon said. Qin Yun controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle to float in midair. Not long after the heaven-leaping shuttle took off, a wave of gray qi surged over. Ling Yun and Yu Xiaoling, who were playing around, immediately stopped and tidied up their clothes. Their faces became incomparably serious. Primal Chaos Divine Son. Yu Shaoling cursed in a low voice. The Primal Chaos race has brought along the Primal Chaos Divine Son. This Primal Chaos Divine Son is very strong. Did they create a Primal Chaos Divine Son to devour the divine power of the Third Universe Divine Son? Ling Yun'er was puzzled. The Divine Yang race is a combination of the Nether Sun race and the Heavenly Sun race. In other words, Divine Yang race must have Nether Suns. Let's see how Divine Yang race will defend against Primal Chaos race. Xiao Yuelon said. Qin Yun looked at the surface of the sea. There was a gray gas mass there, releasing a gray gas beam that charged over. Seeing this very large Chaos Divine Sun, Qin Yun's hands itched. He wanted to get it. Xiao Yuelon shook Qin Yun's hand and said softly, Xiao Yun, do you want that Primal Chaos Divine Sun? Chapter 2304. Qin Yun looked at the Primal Chaos Divine Sun in the distance. He is indeed very tempted, but he is not impulsive. That Primal Chaos Divine Sun was brought over by the Primal Chaos race. It will definitely be heavily guarded, and there might even be powerful 9 heavens divine demons protecting it. Qin Yun only has Xiao Yuelon and Yang Shuriyue to help him. Although there are still some fairies, it will be very difficult for them to deal with the Primal Chaos race and 9 heavens divine demons. There's no rush now. Since the Primal Chaos race brought the Primal Chaos Divine Sun over, they will definitely clash with the Divine Yang race. That will be our opportunity, Qin Yun said. The Primal Chaos race caused such a huge commotion. The strong races in the Divine Sun Heavenly Island will definitely attach great importance to it. How about I go to the Divine Moon race and help you inquire about the situation? Xiao Yuelon said. The threat of the Primal Chaos Divine Sun is very great. The Divine Moon race and the Divine Yang race will definitely investigate the situation. If Xiao Yuelon finds out about the situation in the Divine Moon race, she can tell Qin Yun and let him seize the opportunity to attack. Let's go to the Divine Yang Peak first, Yang Shuriyue said. Xiao Yun, Sister Shang Yun is willing to meet you, Xiao Yuelon said very seriously. I don't know what will happen if you meet her, but you can rest assured that she won't attack you. Qin Yun smiled lightly. Even if she attacks me, I am not afraid of her. I already have an initial understanding of her. We will also be there, it should be fine, right? Yang Shuriyue is still somewhat worried. It's better to talk about this kind of thing alone. Even if we don't talk about fusing with the Divine Moon Bloodline Divine Source, we can talk about the cooperation between the 9 Yang Divine Palace and the Divine Moon race, Qin Yun said. In short, I can control the situation. I believe you. Xiao Yuelon grabbed Qin Yun's hand. The 9 Yin Divine Spirit on her wrist resonated with Qin Yun's 9 Sun Divine Spirit. When they cultivated together, they let the 9 Sun Divine Spirit cultivate the Sun Heavenly Shield. And now, if they continue to cultivate, the 9 Sun Divine Spirit will also have a second ability. The appearance of the Primal Chaos Divine Sun on the sea caused a great commotion. The Divine Sun Heavenly Island immediately opened a very large enchantment. Many experts on the island felt the vast and mighty aura of the Chaos Divine Sun and immediately entered a state of battle, changing into their equipment. The top of the Divine Yang Peak was very spacious. After this magical peak was turned upside down, the top was also the most spacious. Not only were there many buildings, there were also several spacious squares. There were many large ships floating around the Divine Yang Peak. Those were the ships of the other powerful races. The silver-white Divine Moon ships were the most eye-catching, especially now that they were in battle mode, their bodies releasing a silver light. Qin Yun also noticed the damage on the 9 Suns Heavenly Clan ship. It was clear that they had been attacked before. The ones attacking the 9 Suns Heavenly Clan ship were the 9 Heavens God Beasts. After being attacked by the 9 heavens demon god, these ships were not destroyed, which was very rare. Qin Yun felt that the nameless old man might be on one of the ships. He took out the nameless old man's soul-chasing talisman and indeed, he was on one of the ships. The nameless old man is very mysterious. He can use a very long time to create a very small primal divine Sunday. Furthermore, that primal divine sun can even give birth to primal chaos creatures. This was definitely not something an ordinary sacred god could do. The nameless old man said that his noble rank is relatively low. Qin Yun also asked the others before. From what they understood, the nameless old man is indeed a sacred god with an ordinary noble rank. Now that a primal divine sun has appeared, Qin Yun felt that it was necessary to have a chat with the nameless old man. The nameless old man has a very good understanding of primal divine Sunday. Furthermore, he has a method to restrain primal chaos divine sun, which is the peculiar primal chaos cold power. Of course, Qin Yun also has the primal chaos cold power, so he can restrain the primal chaos rays. As for whether or not he can block the primal chaos divine sun's attack, he is not sure. Yang Shuriwei has a medium-sized ship of her own. She released the ship and let Qin Yun enter. As for Xiao Yuelon, she went to find the divine moon race's Yu Shangyun. If everything goes smoothly, Yu Shangyun will have a secret discussion with Qin Yun. The location is also in Yang Shuriwei's flying ship, so Yu Shangyun can be at ease. Qin Yun and Yang Shuriwei are on the deck of the flying ship, looking down at the city-sized Divine Yang Peak. This is the Divine Yang race's territory. Every day, the myriad realms' divine sun will shine down with a peculiar sunlight. Therefore, cultivating or growing medicinal herbs on the Divine Yang Peak will have very good result. The 9 heavens' divine demons should have already surrounded this island. When the 3rd myriad realm's divine sun appears, a strong light will shine down on the Divine Yang Peak. That will be the time to awaken the heavenly law war god. Yang Shuriwei said, "The 9 nether race and the divine heaven race are not coming? They should also have heavenly law war god, right?" Qin Yun looked around. Originally, only the divine moon race and the divine yang race were willing to fight against the 9 heavens demon race. However, the other powerful races found out that they can awaken the heavenly law war god at the Divine Yang Peak, so they all joined in. The other powerful races should be arriving soon. Yang Shuriwei raised her head to look at the gradually darkening sky, then looked at the Divine Moon race's large ship. The sky darkened and the Divine Moon of the heavens will appear. Qin Yun also knows that if Yu Shangyun wants to meet him, she will definitely choose when the moon comes out. To the women of the divine moon race, as long as the moon is in the sky, they will feel very at ease. That is their guardian god. The sky darkened and the divine moon of the heavens appeared. Looking at the divine moon of the heavens from the top of the Divine Yang Peak, there is a very strong visual impact. Not only is it big, when looking at the divine moon of the heavens, it is as if this huge divine moon is releasing a very strong power. A crescent moon mark appeared on Yang Shuriwei's forehead. It is Xiao Yuelon who is contacting her. Yuelon said that Sister Shangyun is coming. She wants you to wear a mask. Yang Shuriwei said, "Why do you want me to wear a mask?" Qin Yun is somewhat puzzled. This is what Sister Shangyun requested. Yang Shuriwei smiled and said, "Maybe she doesn't want to be confused by your handsome appearance and is afraid that it will affect her judgment." Qin Yun laughed and said, "Big Sister Yang, your mouth is so sweet, let me kiss you." "Stop messing around, Sister Shangyun is coming." Yang Shuriwei laughed in anger, but she still kissed Qin Yun. Qin Yun did not wear a mask. Instead, he wore a very comical cloth lion head cover. "It's fine to wear this thing, right?" Qin Yun chuckled. "It should be fine. Let's go, I'll take you to a secret room." Yang Shuriwei pulled Qin Yun's hand and entered the cabin. They arrived at an elegant small hall. Although this small hall was a secret room, It gave off a very comfortable feeling and was suitable for secret talk. Qin Yun sat in the hall while Yang Shuriyue had already left. After waiting in the hall for a short while, someone suddenly opened the door and entered. The person who came in was wearing a set of black armor. Although he was wearing a set of armor, the armor was made to fit his body very well. Therefore, even though he was wearing the armor, one could still see his slender body and a pair of long legs. He was wearing armor and a black helmet. There was even a palm-sized sheathless broadsword hanging from his waist. This kind of attire was obviously going to the battlefield. This was the Divine Moon Clan's Imperial Emperor Yu Shangyun. Although Qin Yun knew that Yu Shangyun was on guard against him, he was still surprised to see Yu Shangyun dressed like this. In contrast, Qin Yun was dressed casually and wore a very funny lion head cover. Furthermore, the head cover was crooked. Qin Yun hurriedly stood up to show his politeness and said with a smile, "Hello, we finally meet." Yu Shangyun was wearing a black slimming armor and looked rather tall. However, after Qin Yun stood up, he realized that Yu Shangyun was not too tall. Her legs looked rather long. And Yu Shangyun's voice came out. It should have been spoken through the helmet, so it was impossible to hear her voice clearly. However, one could feel that her tone was very cold and imposing. After Qin Yun sat down, he looked at Yu Shangyun face to face. The two of them, one wearing a black helmet and the other wearing a lion head cover, sat in the hall and looked at each other. This scene looked somewhat strange. The two of them sat together as if they were people from two different worlds. "Do you want something to drink?" Qin Yun did not know what to say. "No," Yu Shangyun said very decisively. Her tone was also very cold. She immediately realized that her attitude was not very good and immediately said, "Thank you for saving our Divine Moon ship. This is a thank you gift." Yu Shangyun threw a silver storage bag to Qin Yun. Qin Yun did not look at what was inside because he had never cared about these thank you gifts. He said with a smile, "No need to be polite. My second sister is Yu Wulon and I have enmity with the Nine Heavens divine demon. Moreover, Duke Yuxiang, Duke Li Suang and Duke Feng, you are all extremely good to me." Humph. Yu Shangyun was obviously somewhat unhappy because the little Yuxiang she sent out actually spoke up for Qin Yun. What made her most angry was that even a king like Feng Yu kept praising this king of the Nine Yang Palace. "Previously, I asked Duke Feng Yu to tell you that I, Qin Yun, want to break through the curse of 10 images. I will rely on myself and will not have any other thoughts," Qin Yun said very seriously. "That's good. Of course, even if you have other thoughts, you can't do anything," Yu Shangyun said. "Emperor of the Divine Moon Clan, do you have the heavenly technique inheritance?" Qin Yun said, "The Nine Heavens Demon Emperor is our common enemy. You are very strong, but you don't need to participate in the fight against the Nine Heavens Demon race." Yu Shangyun said, "The other emperors don't want you to participate in the meeting of the Myriad Realms Divine Court, but I don't care." This. Qin Yun heard that the other emperors were very dissatisfied when the Divine Judge invited him to participate. "You should think of a way to break through the curse of 10 images. The Nine Heavens demon race is very strong and their growth speed is very fast. Now they have allied with the Primal Chaos race, and you are their enemy." Yu Shangyun has already stood up, which means that she and Qin Yun are almost done talking. Qin Yun did not say anything else. With his current cultivation, he indeed could not enter the eyes of those emperors. "If I were you, I would hide and cultivate." Yu Shangyun walked to the door and said, "This way, those who care about you won't be worried every day." Yu Shangyun walked out of the room. Qin Yun sighed softly and looked at the storage bag Yu Shangyun gave him. There is a very big box inside. Chapter 2305. Qin Yun pinched the pearl and felt as if he is pinching a small golden moon. Xiao Yuelon walked in at this time and saw the thing in Qin Yun's hand. She immediately shouted in alarm, "Did Sister Shangyun give this to you?" and what is this? Qin Yun said with a smile. This is her thank you gift to me. This is a moon tear divine pill. After eating it, it can increase mental power. Xiao Yuelon took off Qin Yun's lion head mask and said with a smile, Xiao Yun, you and Sister Shang Yun had a pretty good conversation. She even gave you such a good thing. My conversation with her wasn't very good, Qin Yun said, but this is also within my expectations. Didn't it go well? What did she say? Xiao Yuelon asked. Qin Yun gave a simple explanation of the process. After Xiao Yuelon finished listening, she sighed softly and patted Qin Yun's shoulder. She said with a smile, Don't be discouraged, there is still a chance. What chance? This is pretty good. Qin Yun smiled and carried Xiao Yuelon over and let her sit on his lap. It's the chance to become friends with Sister Shang Yun. Xiao Yuelon lightly hammered Qin Yun's chest and said with a smile, I don't believe that you won't be tempted. Don't talk nonsense, I can't even see her face. Qin Yun gently caressed her face and said with a smile, Where did Sister Yang go? She sent Sister Shang Yun out. She said that she wanted to ask about Primal Chaos Divine Sun. Xiao Yuelon got down from Qin Yun's lap and said, Quickly eat this pill and see if you can make your mental power stronger. Qin Yun said, I'll eat this pill, how about you cultivate with me? This will allow me to refine it even faster. Alright. Xiao Yuelon sat on Qin Yun's lap again and leaned into his embrace. She said with a smile, Eat it, let's cultivate Sun and Moon Heart Sutra together. After eating the Moon Tear Divine Pill, Qin Yun suddenly felt his mind become blank. It is being filled with a very gentle mental power. It's begun. Qin Yun lightly shouted. Xiao Yuelon hugged Qin Yun tightly and directly cultivated the second level of Sun and Moon Heart Sutra, Divine Fusion Technique. This will allow their minds to fuse and cultivate together. They even held hands tightly and allowed the 9 Yin Divine Spirit and 9 Yang Divine Spirit to cultivate together. Xiao Yuelon previously said that after the 9 Sun Divine Spirit evolved, it would be able to open the 7th pearl. The 9 Sun Divine Spirit evolved a long time ago. Furthermore, a powerful ability like the Sun Heavenly Shield appeared. However, he still couldn't open the 7th pearl. Xieqiru told Xiao Yuelon that if Qin Yun wants to open the 7th, 8th and 9th pearl of the 9 Sun Divine Spirit, he will need the help of the 9 Yin Divine Spirit. I wonder if I can open the 7th pearl or not. Qin Yun is very curious about what is inside the 9 Sun Divine Soul's 7th pearl. Xiao Yun, I heard that this Moon Tear Divine Pill was refined using Sister Shang Yun's tears. Xiao Yuelon suddenly said, Huashua said this. What's so special about her tears? You can refine such a divine pill? Qin Yun is very astonished because he can sense that the mental power inside the Moon Tear Divine Pill is very strong. Qin Yun already has a mental nether moon and now it is greedily absorbing the Moon Tear Divine Pill's mind. He could feel that his spirit might once again be ahead of his physical body, becoming even stronger. I also don't know, I'll ask her when I have the chance in the future. Xiao Yuelon is leading the joint cultivation. Through the Sun and Moon Heart Sutra, they can cultivate and refine the Moon Tear Divine Pill. It can increase the effect by a lot and the refining speed is also faster. It can also benefit both of them. Qin Yun now feels more and more that the Sun and Moon Heart Sutra is very heaven-defying. The first layer of Sun and Moon Heart Sutra can be cultivated through ordinary contact. The second layer is the Divine Fusion Method. It can fuse mind and soul and cultivate together. As for the third level, it was an even deeper level where one's body and soul were combined. Yuelon, is there a fourth layer of Sun and Moon Heart Sutra? Qin Yun asked. There is. Xiao Yuelon charmingly smiled and said, Do you want to know what the fourth layer is like? What is it like? Qin Yun is also very curious. It's more or less the same as the third layer. The only difference is that when cultivating the fourth layer, It is a bit more complicated and there will be other women assisting from the side. Xiao Yuelon giggled and said, when big sister Yang comes back, how about we let her try it together? Qin Yun did not even have time to reply when he sensed a great movement from the Nine Sun Divine Spirit. It is as if a very strong electric current suddenly surged out, causing his arm to be in great pain. After the intense pain, Qin Yun's entire arm became numb to the point that he could not feel anything else. Yuelon, what happened just now? Qin Yun cried out in alarm. Did you feel it? I didn't. What's wrong? Xiao Yuelon could only sense that Qin Yun was in great pain just now, but it quickly returned to normal. The Nine Sun Divine Spirit released a very strong electric shock just now. It might not be an electric shock, but it feels very similar. Qin Yun opened his eyes and looked at his wrist. His hand is now tightly intertwined with Xiao Yuelon's hand. It is numb and powerless. The Nine Sun Divine Spirit has already appeared and those pearls have turned blue. As for Xiao Yuelon's Nine Yin Divine Spirit, the pearls have turned red. What a huge change! Xiao Yuelon is also alarmed. Could it be that it absorbed the heavenly blood? Qin Yun is very puzzled. Then, he went to check the few pearls that the Nine Sun Divine Spirit has opened. There is no change in the space inside. The first pearl is the space of Yang Yang and Mo. They are all very quiet and did not sense anything strange. Quickly go take a look at the seventh pearl. Xiao Yuelon hurriedly said, I will continue to guide your mind in refining that pill. After Qin Yun checked the 6 pearls of the Nine Sun Divine Spirit one by one, he began to look at the 7th pearl. After his mental power entered the 7th pearl, he only saw a blue wall blocking it. He released a very powerful mental power but was unable to blast the wall apart. Not yet. Qin Yun shook his head. Yuelon, use the 9 Yin Divine Spirit to help me. Alright. Xiao Yuelon tightly held Qin Yun's hand. She released her powerful mental power through the 9 Yin Divine Spirit. After Qin Yun sensed Xiao Yuelon's mental power, he released his own mental power to bombard the wall inside the 7th pearl. They are currently in a state of joint cultivation, so their mental power can fuse very perfectly and the power produced is also very strong. But even so, it is still unable to blast open the wall. Still not enough, looks like I can only refine that pill. Xiao Yuelon said, there must be something very strong in the 7th pearl. That thing should have offensive power. Why was there such a huge commotion just now? Qin Yun recalled the pain from earlier and felt a lingering fear in his heart. Maybe it's because my 9 Yin Divine Spirit touched the 7th pearl and woke up the thing inside? Xiao Yuelon guessed. I'm fine now, I'll refine that pill first. Qin Yun kissed Xiao Yuelon's forehead and then embraced her. He leaned on the chair and the two of them hugged each other sweetly and cultivated together. Yang Shiyue followed Yu Shangyun to a large ship of the Divine Moon Clan. Yang Shiyue and Yu Wulon are together. She also wanted to inquire about the situation of the Primal Chaos Divine Sunday. After Yu Shangyun returned, she directly returned to her room. Feng Yu also wanted to know how Yu Shangyun and Qin Yun's discussion went, so she followed her. When Yu Shangyun opened the door, she shook her head, indicating for Feng Yu to quickly come in. After Feng Yu entered the room, she said, how was the discussion? Is he loosening the reins only to grasp better? Is he pretending to have no feelings for you? It's hard for me to say. In short, I gave him a Moon Tear Divine Pill. Yu Shangyun said. What? Moon Tear Divine Pill? Isn't this too precious? Feng Yu said in shock. Clan Emperor, you should have discussed this with us. Yu Shangyun lightly groaned and said, you were the one who told me to thank him. So I gave him the Moon Tear Divine Pill. But, Moon Tear Divine Pill is refined from your tears. This kind of pill is extremely effective in improving the soul's spirit or healing soul injuries. Feng Yu grumbled. I don't know when you will cry, this kind of pill is very rare. Then I'll go get it from him. Just as Yu Shangyun was about to take off her helmet, she turned around and left. Forget it. Maybe he has already eaten it. Feng Yu hurriedly pulled Yu Shangyun back inside. My elder sister Emperor, you are really willful sometimes. You guys keep saying how good that Nine-Yang Palace King is. He did indeed save you. There is nothing wrong with me thanking him. Yu Shangyun said. In my heart I am truly grateful to him. If not for him, I might have lost little Yu Xiang and the others forever. I would be very sad. Feng Yu said with a light smile. This Nine-Yang Palace King is really a good person. Did you talk to him a bit more? His inscription technique is very strong, you can discuss it with him. Yu Shangyun shook her head and said, There's no need for that. He has more important things to do right now. I don't want to take up his time. He wants to break the curse. While they were chatting in the room, thick golden clouds suddenly surged in the sky and the sea also started to surge with waves. The entire night sky seemed to be covered by thick golden clouds. There is a great turbulence between heaven and earth. Especially the people floating in the air, they can feel the entire space trembling violently. The Nine Heavens demon race is attacking? Feng Yu said in alarm. Let's go out and take a look. Yu Shangyun said in a deep voice. This kind of movement is very big, it is extremely likely that the Nine Heavens Demon Emperor has made a move. Not only them, all the ships on the Divine Yang Peak, everyone is currently floating in the air, looking at the strange phenomenon that appeared in the sky. It is currently late at night. The sudden appearance of this kind of phenomenon is very frightening, especially with the Nine Heavens demon race outside. Yuelon, it's a big problem. What exactly is inside the seventh pearl? It's actually attracting a great tribulation. Qin Yun cultivates the Nine-Sun World Extermination scripture, so he can clearly sense that a very powerful destructive tribulation power is brewing. What the hell is going on? Xiao Yuelon can sense that the Nine-Sun Divine Spirit is making a big movement. The seventh pearl's barrier can only be broken by a great tribulation. Qin Yun cursed in a low voice. I wonder who did it, they are really going to kill people. Chapter 2306. This kind of heavenly punishment power is very powerful. Just the prelude and the resulting turbulence already affected more than half of the Divine Sun Heavenly Sea. Hearing that Qin Yun wants to go out to cross tribulation, Xiao Yuelon promptly held Qin Yun's hand tightly and said resolutely, Xiao Yun, I want to go with you. I have 9 Yin Divine Spirit and my strength is not weak, I can help you. Facing this kind of danger, Qin Yun doesn't want Xiao Yuelon to go with him. Therefore, he rejected Xiao Yuelon without even thinking. Don't think of leaving me behind. Xiao Yuelon knows that Qin Yun wants to reject her, so she hastily interrupted him and pinched him. All right. Qin Yun also knows that Xiao Yuelon is with him now, it will be very difficult to get rid of her. Xiao Yuelon wants to go with him because she is concerned about him. Don't worry, I am after all the 9 Sun Divine Maiden, nothing will happen to me. It's night time now, the Divine Moon of Heavens will protect me. Xiao Yuelon faintly smiled and said, Let's go, let's leave the Divine Sun Heavenly Island first. It's night time now but the Divine Moon of Heavens has already been covered by the thick golden clouds, it can't be seen at all. Qin Yun brought Xiao Yuelon through space and arrived outside the Divine Sun Heavenly Island. When going out, Xiao Yuelon greeted Yang Shuriyue. She only said that they are going out to investigate the situation and did not tell her that they are going out to cross tribulation. If Yang Shuriyue knew that Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon are going out to face the formidable heavenly punishment power, she would definitely go with them. The 9 Heavens Divine Demons and Primal Chaos race were originally waiting outside the Divine Sun Heavenly Island, but now they are scattering like birds and beasts, fleeing in all directions. They thought that the formidable heavenly punishment power was coming for them. Just now, that terrifying heavenly punishment power had locked onto the divine Sun celestial island. Hence, many experts on the island had felt a lot of pressure. After Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon went out, they left the divine Sun heavenly island, and the energy condensed in the sky has been locking onto them. After being locked on, it is very difficult to avoid. Therefore, the heavenly punishment power has been brewing and did not descend all of a sudden. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon must leave the divine Sun heavenly island as far as possible to avoid the heavenly punishment. Someone will come. After the heavenly punishment ends, Qin Yun doesn't know what will happen. He must prevent others from discovering him and Xiao Yuelon, especially the seventh pearl of the nine Sun divine soul. If the thing inside ran out and was seen by others, it would definitely cause a huge uproar. On the deck of the divine moon ship above the divine Yang celestial island, Yang Shiyu's heart was heavy because she had a bad premonition. Furthermore, she knew that Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon had gone out. She held the soul-chasing talisman and looked in the direction that Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon had gone. She began to worry. So much so that she did not know that Feng Yu and Yu Shangyun had arrived behind her. "Shiyue, what's wrong?" Yu Shangyun asked softly. She was still wearing the black armor and helmet. "It's nothing. It's just that the commotion is too big, and I'm a little worried." Yang Shiyu looked at the sky. At this moment, the golden clouds were densely covering the sky. The light that shone down made people feel as if they were being exposed to the sun. This is a very powerful type of heavenly punishment. I wonder who triggered the heavenly punishment. Yu Shangyun lightly patted Yang Shiyue's shoulder and said, "I'm here, don't worry." And Yang Shiryu lightly nodded. She tightly held the soul-chasing talisman in her hand and looked in the direction that Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon had gone. Yu Shangyun and Feng Yu could see that Yang Shiryu is feeling uneasy. "Shiyue, what happened?" Feng Yu asked. "Yuelon and Xiao Yun went out, over there." Yang Shiryu pointed to the front and said, "The two of them said that they went out to investigate the situation." Truly reckless. Yu Shangyun now understood why Yang Shiryu was worried. She hastily snatched Yang Shiryu's soul-chasing talisman and suddenly soared into the sky. "Sister Shangyun, I'll go with you." Yang Shiryu knew that Yu Shangyun wanted to go out. "No need, you guys stay here." After Yu Shangyun finished speaking, she suddenly disappeared. Feng Yu pulled Yang Shiryu's hand and said with a smile, "Don't worry, elder sister Clan Emperor is very strong. She will definitely be able to find the 9 Yang Palace King and Yuelon. Xiao Yuelon and Qin Yun are naturally not going to investigate. Instead, they are going to face the power of the heavenly punishment. This distance is about right." Qin Yun looked at the direction of the divine Sun heavenly island. "Xiao Yun, you cultivate the 9 Sun world extermination scripture. Do you know what this powerful heavenly punishment power is? Is it recorded in the 9 Sun world extermination scripture?" Xiao Yuelon asked. "I can't be sure right now." Qin Yun looked at the golden clouds in the sky and said, "But it must be related to the 9 suns. Because the light that is shining down now is like a very intense sunlight. Your sister Shuyan said that if you experience this kind of great tribulation, you will be able to better comprehend the 9 Sun world extermination scripture." Xiao Yuelon said with a smile, "You must grasp this opportunity well. Lu Yu Shuyan has also cultivated the 9 Sun world extermination scripture for many years." And Qin Yun, who started cultivating later, quickly caught up to her. The 9 Sun world extermination scripture has 3 tribulations, 6 calamities and 9 annihilations. Qin Yun has more or less mastered the 3 tribulations, and next is the 6 calamities. Among the 3 tribulations are 9 Dragon Brilliant Sun Tribulation, Breaking Sun Heavenly Thunder Tribulation, and 10,000 Star Nirvana Tribulation. Among them, Qin Yun has already used the 9-dragon brilliant sun tribulation and the breaking sun heavenly thunder tribulation. As for the 10,000 star extermination tribulation, he is still in the comprehension stage. He has not tried it, but if necessary, he can release it. There are very strong flames and thunder and lightning. Qin Yun opened his heavenly eye and looked at the dense golden clouds in the sky. Suddenly, he caught a glimpse of blue flame gradually appearing in the golden clouds. This kind of flame is clearly a powerful heavenly flame, similar to the heavenly universe divine flame. It's here! Xiao Yuelon lightly shouted. Her wrist suddenly emitted a strong red light. The 9 pearls of her 9 divine spirit have already turned red. Now they are releasing a large red light shield. This is her sun heavenly shield. Xiao Yun, I will protect your body from being attacked. Focus on drawing in the power of heavenly punishment and break the 7th pearl. Xiao Yuelon solemnly shouted. Qin Yun took a deep breath. He is completely at ease and left his back to Xiao Yuelon. Bang bang bang! A heaven-shaking explosion suddenly spread out in all directions. Countless violent thunder and lightning tore apart the golden clouds and roared down as if baring their fangs and brandishing their claws. Strangely, this kind of tyrannical thunder and lightning bombardment speed is not very fast. It is to the point that one can clearly see the thunder and lightning transforming into several incomparably huge dragons that are attacking from all directions. This is... Xiao Yuelon is extremely astonished. She released the sun heavenly shield with all her strength and formed a large umbrella to cover Qin Yun and herself. Qin Yun shouted loudly and released another sun domain. It produced a very strong devouring power and drew a portion of the thunder and lightning blocked by Xiao Yuelon into the devouring whirlpool. Then, he drew the dragon transformation thunder and lightning into the 7th pearl of the 9 sun divine spirit. Xiao Yun, what kind of thunder tribulation is this? Why is it so terrifying? Although Xiao Yuelon could block it earlier, it was very strenuous for her. It's heavenly dragon transformation thunder, Qin Yun said in a deep voice. Yuelon, this is heavenly fire, heavenly thunder calamity. One of the 6 calamities of the 9 sun world extermination scripture. What? Now we are only facing thunder. What about fire? Xiao Yuelon leaned on Qin Yun's back. She is extremely vigilant. Heavenly fire like sun, heavenly thunder like dragon. This is heavenly fire, heavenly thunder calamity. Heavenly fire will turn into a fire sun and fall down. Qin Yun's voice is very grave, he said in a low voice. Yuelon, we have to be careful. Don't worry, I can block it. As Xiao Yuelon spoke, a huge snow-white moon suddenly appeared above her head. The moon is floating in the sky, flickering with intense white light. Then the entire white moon suddenly bloomed like a flower bud and transformed into a beautiful snow-white orchid. Xiao Yun, fuse your nether sun-devouring whirlpool into my moon orchid. While my moon orchid is blocking the heavenly fire, heavenly thunder calamity, you can also devour it and use it to break open the 9 sun divine spirit. Alright. Qin Yun is also secretly amazed by the beautiful and huge orchid. With a single glance, he can tell that it has very strong defense. Moreover, it is releasing a burst of intense flower fragrance. Qin Yun breathed in the flower fragrance and felt his mind become a lot more excited. He promptly fused his nether sun-devouring whirlpool into the heart of the moon orchid. Suddenly, a golden blue light ball descended from the sky. Heavenly fire like sun. Heavenly fire is coming. Qin Yun shouted. Xiao Yuelon's sun heavenly shield also cooperated with the huge orchid and blocked high in the sky. The blue light ball fell down and smashed onto the huge orchid, causing the void to immediately fluctuate. That incomparably scorching blue energy wave, accompanied by the energy flame, created large ripples in the air and spread very far. Just now, Qin Yun also guided a very berserk power into the 9 sun divine spirits' 7th pearl. This time, Xiao Yuelon very smoothly blocked the dreadful like sun heavenly fire. Yuelon, are you alright? Qin Yun asked. I'm fine. Xiao Yuelon became serious. Her beautiful face is ice-cold and solemn. At this moment, her entire body is releasing orchid fragrance. Amidst the cold elegance and moving beauty, there is also a gentle and intoxicating fragrance. She is extremely beautiful. Like dragon heavenly thunder and like sun heavenly fire alternated back and forth. Not long after, the entire sea and sky are filled with tyrannical and bitter thunder and fire energy wave. Even the distant divine sun heavenly island is deeply shaken by this dreadful heavenly punishment. Those powerful races and 9 heavens divine demons are all extremely curious. They all want to know what kind of thing can attract such dreadful heavenly punishment. At this moment, there is a person flying in the sky while facing the violent thunder and fire energy wave. He is about to enter the center of the calamity. That person is the Divine Moon Clan's Emperor Yu Shangyun. Yu Shangyun flew forward with great difficulty. She is holding Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon's soul-chasing talisman in her hand. She is also extremely shocked. They are all in the center. They are not going to investigate but to transcend tribulation? Why would they be targeted by such a powerful heavenly punishment? Yu Shangyun is extremely puzzled. She could not help but think of a possibility. That is, Qin Yun wants to break the curse of the 10 images. Yu Shangyun is still a distance away from Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon. However, she suddenly saw a huge snow-white orchid in front of her. It emitted an intense divine moonlight and floated in the air, blocking the heavenly fire divine thunder calamity. Chapter 2307. Yu Shangyun was extremely puzzled. She could already tell that Qin Yun did not break the curse of the 10 images. Therefore, the power of the heavenly punishment was not aimed at Qin Yun. Furthermore, if it was really for Qin Yun, he would definitely not let Xiao Yuelon follow him. I wonder if it's Yulan or that guy who attracted the power of sky punishment? Yu Shangyun could not tell. She did not know that this was a very powerful heaven fire thunder disaster. The heavenly fire scourge lightning calamity focused on Qin Yun's 9 yang divine soul. Furthermore, during the attack, most of the power was blocked by Xiao Yuelon and most of it was devoured by Qin Yun to break the 7th pearl of the 9 sun divine spirit. Otherwise, the commotion caused by the heavenly fire cleansing lightning disaster would be much greater than it was now. Due to the appearance of the heavenly fire thunder calamity, the night sky was shrouded in thick, surging golden clouds. The divine Yang celestial sea was also illuminated, causing waves to surge. The huge waves were reflected in a dazzling golden light as they floated in the air. Looking down, it looked like there were countless golden dragons surging in the sea. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon's cooperation was flawless. The heavenly fire divine thunder calamity was unable to hit them. Furthermore, most of the power was guided into the 9 sun divine souls' 7th pearl. The 9 sun divine spirit is truly powerful. It can actually block the impact of so many heavenly punishments' power. Xiao Yuelon is now feeling much more relaxed. The heavenly fire desolate lightning calamity was very powerful, but she realized that after joining forces with Qin Yun, they could easily withstand it. Of course, the main reason was that the gigantic orchid she released was very strong. That orchid was currently absorbing the power of the divine moon in the heavens to strengthen its defense. I wonder how long this heavenly fire divine thunder calamity will last. Qin Yun has been paying attention to the situation inside the 9 sun divine spirit. The blue energy wall inside the 7th pearl is very sturdy. Qin Yun guided the berserk heavenly fire dry lightning disaster power inside and attacked it many times, but it didn't break. There is no effect at all? Xiao Yuelon asked. The effect is there, but it is not obvious. Qin Yun said with frown. Who made the 7th pearl's defense? How can it be so strong? Isn't it Sister Kira's mother? Xiao Yuelon heard Qin Yun mention it before. I'm not sure if it's emoji. Emoji shouldn't have this kind of ability. Could it be that emoji later gave the 9 yang divine soul to others? The more Qin Yun thought about it, the more suspicious he felt. Many of the things sealed inside the 9 sun divine soul came from the heavenly law pawnshop. As for Moji, she had worked in the mysterious heavenly law pawnshop for a period of time. The shopkeeper of the heavenly Dao pawnshop is Yun Long. The relationship between Qin Yun and Yun Long is quite good. He has tried many times to get some information from Yun Long. But Yun Long's lips were very tight and he didn't reveal anything at all. If I don't succeed this time, then I can only draw the power of heavenly punishment myself in the future, Xiao Yuelon said. At that moment, Qin Yun was under the heavenly fire divine lightning calamity. He could deeply sense the terror of such a calamity. It gave him quite a bit of insight. It would make it easier for him to comprehend and control the celestial fire scourge in the future. If everything went smoothly, he would soon be able to use the heavenly fire desolation lightning disaster in battle. Summon calamity, then control calamity to lock onto the enemy and launch a devastating attack. Xiao Yuelon thought about how terrifying the 9 sun world extermination scripture is. This is equivalent to controlling the power of heavenly punishment. It can summon all kinds of calamities and heavenly tribulations to attack people at any time. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon did not know that in the distant sky, Yushang Yun, the Divine Moon Clan's empress, is watching them from afar. Yushang Yun is also patiently waiting. After it's over, she will go over and ask about the situation. From outside, she can see violent thunder and lightning transforming into giant dragons that are constantly attacking the huge moon orchid. Although the moon orchid is relatively large, in front of those thunder and lightning dragons, it is like a delicate little flower, seemingly unable to withstand a single blow. However, the moon orchid's defensive power is very strong. The moonlight divine power it released can weaken the power of the thunder and lightning dragons. Then, when the thunder and lightning dragons attacked the huge orchid again, they were distorted, dissolved and devoured by the mysterious power inside the orchid. That's the moon orchid's orchid. I've seen it once before. But at that time, I didn't see such a terrifying devouring power. Yushang Yun is extremely puzzled in her heart. In her eyes, that orchid is like a bottomless pit, it can dissolve and devour all things. Xiao Yuelon also grasps the power of Nether Sun, but that is not her main cultivation, so she is not as proficient in using it as Qin Yun. What she mainly cultivates now is this moon orchid. Qin Yun is also very curious about her cultivation. Because Xiao Yuelon's cultivation, on one hand, is her own comprehension. On the other hand, she has the inheritance of the 9 sun divine maiden. Coupled with Mu Yu's guidance, she can cultivate her own path. It is not only Xiao Yuelon, the 9 sun divine maiden, and even the women of the Guanghan Palace are the same. This is mainly because of Mu Yu's guidance. The heavenly fire divine thunder calamity lasted for a very long time, no less than 6 hours, and all kinds of power still did not decrease. To be able to form such a dreadful calamity, only the mysterious heavenly power can cause it. And now Qin Yun is very tired because he has allowed the Nether Sun to continue operating for a very long time. Moreover, he also has to release extremely formidable mental power to guide the formidable heavenly fire divine thunder calamity power into the 9 sun divine soul's 7th pearl. Xiao Yuelon's situation is much better than his because she only needs to release the orchid, and she can also borrow the power of the heavenly divine moon. With Xiao Yuelon by his side, even though Qin Yun is very tired, he is still very relaxed. Soon, Qin Yun suddenly said in low voice, "The 7th pearl's energy wall already has cracks, it is about to be broken." After Xiao Yuelon heard this, she is also extremely happy. She said with smile, I wonder what is inside to actually use this kind of method to open it. The seventh pearl's defense is very strong. One must have enough mental power to trigger the method to trigger the calamity from inside. Qin Yun said, that method to trigger the calamity has many mysteries hidden within it. Who did it? Xiao Yun, after this, will you be able to master the heavenly fire divine thunder calamity? Xiao Yuelon asked. I already have a very good feeling, Qin Yun said with smile. It seems like if I want to master the 9-sun world extermination scripture even faster, I will need to experience this kind of great calamity. The golden clouds in the sky gradually calmed down a lot. The thunder and lightning berserk dragons attacking from the golden clouds also became smaller and smaller, more and more faint. The like-sun heavenly fire that descended is also as intense as before. The heavenly fire divine thunder calamity is gradually weakening. This means that it will soon end. And Qin Yun has yet to open the seventh pearl of the 9-sun divine spirit. In the blink of an eye, another hour passed. The sky sea regained its tranquility. The bright divine moon in the sky shone down with multicolored light as usual. The heavenly fire divine thunder calamity is over. The large white orchid floating above Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon's head also gradually retracted and turned back into a white moon. Then, it gradually shrank and returned to Xiao Yuelon's body. Not yet, Qin Yun said with a frown. Maybe too much of the heavenly punishment's power has been blocked, so it hasn't been opened yet. I can only rely on myself now. Xiao Yuelon held Qin Yun's hand tightly and said, I'll accompany you, let's begin. Just as Yu Shangyun wanted to go over and ask about the situation, she suddenly saw Qin Yun's body tremble and emit a burst of blue light. The sky suddenly became densely covered with tribulation clouds. This time, the tribulation clouds are blue, and they did not cover as large an area as before. However, that kind of heavenly might is still very frightening. Qin Yun used the 9-sun world extermination scripture and summoned the 9-dragon brilliant sun tribulation. He continued to use the tribulation power of the heavenly punishment to attack the energy defense wall of the 9-sun divine spirits, 7th pearl. This time, Xiao Yuelon did not use her orchid to block. Qin Yun directly channeled the tribulation power into the 7th pearl. Yu Shangyun also seemed to have noticed something. She knew that Qin Yun is using the formidable power of the heavenly punishment to attack something. She had witnessed the entire process of the heavenly fire divine thunder calamity. Even such a formidable power of the heavenly punishment was unable to achieve Qin Yun's goal. This made her even more puzzled. She felt that Qin Yun was up to something formidable. Qin Yun summoned the 9-dragon brilliant sun tribulation, and the commotion was not small. 9 formidable heavenly dragons swooped down one after another and attacked Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon. The tribulation dragon descended and was immediately captured by Qin Yun using the formidable power of the nether sun and channeled into the 9-sun divine spirits, 7th pearl. After 9 consecutive attacks, the energy wall of the 9-sun divine spirits, 7th pearl, was finally broken. And at this moment, Qin Yun also felt the 9-sun divine spirit burst out with an intense electric current, causing his arm to feel extremely numb and painful. Is it open? Xiao Yuelon asked. I still need to stabilize it. Qin Yun's formidable mental power seeped into the 9-sun divine spirits, 7th pearl. Inside is a blue space. Seeing this blue space, Qin Yun knew that it is very suitable to store the blue heavenly universe divine sun. He doesn't have the heavenly universe divine sun yet, but he will definitely have it in the future. Qin Yun's mental power swept through the spacious blue space inside the 7th pearl. It is completely empty inside. After he swept through it a few times, he saw a long blue crystal chest. He took out the blue crystal chest. There are many runes on the surface of the chest. Qin Yun looked carefully and realized that those runes are all words. As long as a portion of the runes is hidden, the true words can be seen. He used the power of the blood spirit to hide a portion of the runes, and saw that there are a few ancient and unadorned characters on the lid of the long chest. Imperial Heaven Divine Art. Seeing these 4 words, Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon looked at each other in dismay. Is it related to the Imperial Heaven diagram? Xiao Yuelon said in a low voice. It must be related. Previously, when I discovered the Imperial Heaven diagram, I felt that it was cut from something else. Qin Yun said. Let's go to a safe place first, then open it and take a look. You are very tired right now, you need to rest. Just as Xiao Yuelon finished speaking, she sensed someone coming over. It is Yu Shangyun. There are at least 3 race emperors flying over, let's leave quickly. As soon as Yu Shangyun arrived, she shouted at Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon. Chapter 2308. The heaven-leaping shuttle flew towards the Divine Sun Heavenly Island. Qin Yun is in the main control room, quickly recovering the energy he consumed earlier. Yu Shangyun's arrival surprised Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon. They immediately realized that Yu Shangyun has their soul-chasing talisman in her hands. Furthermore, she came over in a hurry. Clearly, she is worried that something will happen to them. What are you doing? That's very dangerous. Yu Shangyun's voice is very calm, no one can sense her emotions. I'm cultivating, Qin Yun said. The matter of the 9 Sun Divine Spirit is very important. He can't let Yu Shangyun know about it now, especially since he just obtained the mysterious Imperial Heaven Divine technique. In the past, Qin Yun only felt that Emoji placed something inside his 9 Sun Divine Spirit and even added some seals on it. However, after experiencing the process of opening the 7th pearl, Qin Yun is very certain that the 9 Sun Divine Spirit has been completely transformed by someone else. Who is the person who transformed the 9 Sun Divine Spirit? Qin Yun really wants to know who Emoji gave the 9 Sun Divine Spirit to back then and why that person made such a great transformation of the 9 Sun Divine Spirit. Furthermore, the blue space inside the 9 Sun Divine Spirit's 7th pearl is filled with a kind of heavenly divine sun power. This is different from the space inside the other pearls. Although he used his mental power to carefully scan the interior space of the 7th pearl, he can't guarantee that he didn't miss anything else. Qin Yun suspects that other than the Imperial Heaven Divine technique, there might be something else inside the 7th pearl. Cultivating. Yu Shangyun doesn't believe it at all. I'm cultivating the 9 Sun World Extermination scripture, but there's a problem. Qin Yun explained. He is the best at deceiving people. Yu Shangyun also knows a bit about the 9 Sun World Extermination scripture. Not to mention that this divine technique is very mysterious, not many people have mastered it. However, many people have heard of the 9 Sun World Extermination scripture. They also know that its might is very terrifying and it can attract powerful heavenly tribulation and natural disaster. Sister Shangyun, is this soul-chasing talisman Big Sister Yang's? Xiao Yuelon asked with a charming smile. It sure is. She's very worried about you guys. Yu Shangyun looked at the soul-chasing talisman in her hand and said, After we return, I will return this soul-chasing talisman to her. Qin Yun controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle to fly. Previously, he had only traversed through space once. He did not immediately arrive in the vicinity of the Divine Yang Heavenly Island. If he wanted to continue traveling, he would need to consume spatial god power orbs. Divine Moon Race's Emperor, how many race spirits do you have in total? Qin Yun diverted the topic. He really wanted to know about those race spirits and heavenly law war gods. We have 7 heavenly law war gods. The heavenly law war gods will soon awaken. At that time, we will be able to suppress the 9 heavens demon clan. Yu Shangyun said indifferently. How many from the divine Yang race, the 9 Sun Sky race, and the other powerful races are there? Qin Yun asked again. The divine yang race and the 9 suns sky race each lost 3 to the 9 heavens demon race. As for the heavenly demon god race, the divine sky race, and the 9 shades race, they each lost 2, said Yu Shangyun. Qin Yun asked, "Does the divine moon race have the most heavenly law battle gods?" Yu Shangyun nodded. "Why are you asking this?" Qin Yun sighed and said, "I am only worried for your divine moon clan. The other powerful races didn't just lose the heavenly law war god, right?" The ancient coffin containing the heavenly law war god was escorted by a large ship. According to Qin Yun's understanding of the 9 heavens divine demons, if they could snatch the heavenly law war god, they would definitely kill everyone on the ship. And those powerful races sent people to escort the heavenly law war god were either dukes or kings. This means that they suffered heavy losses. Are you worried that the divine yang race will harm my divine moon clan? Yu Shangyun's voice turned cold. She also had this kind of worry before. Your alliance includes the divine yang race, the 9 suns sky race, the 9 shades race, the heavenly demon god race and the divine sky race. How much do you know about these powerful races? Qin Yun asked. Your divine moon clan is completely different from them. You divine moon clan are all women and you are very united. Furthermore, your overall moral character is also higher than them. I can think of everything you think of, Yu Shangyun said. That's good. Qin Yun did not say anything else. Xiao Yuelon knows what Qin Yun is thinking. Because Qin Yun is looked down upon by the clan emperors of those powerful races. Moreover, he had unpleasant experiences with the other marquises and dukes of those powerful races. Therefore, Qin Yun is wary of those powerful races. Xiao Yun, what do you think they will do if they want to harm the Divine Moon Clan? Xiao Yuelon said, Now that we are allies, they won't do anything too out of line, right? Qin Yun shook his head and said, It's hard to say, people's hearts are unfathomable. I know people from some powerful races, even they can't guarantee what their race's upper echelons are thinking. Many of our powerful races are being threatened by the 9 heavens demon race. As long as we have a common enemy, we can stand on the same front. Yu Shangyun said. Primal Chaos Race, Divine Sword Race, Divine Star Race and Heavenly Law Divine Realm, why did they ally with the 9 heavens demon race? Qin Yun laughed and said, Don't underestimate the Primal Chaos Race. For them to ally with the 9 heavens demon race to fight against you, they must have obtained some benefits from the 9 heavens demon race. Xiao Yuelon said with frown. Xiao Yun, are you saying that Divine Yang race and Divine Sky race might side with the 9 heavens demon race? As long as there are enough benefits, they will betray us, right? And, for allies like you, there are no eternal friends. Qin Yun said. There is no harm in being more vigilant. Back when Qin Yun was the God King, he was betrayed by the Love God and Thunder God. The Love God is the heavenly mother of the heavenly law divine realm, and now she has sided with the primal chaos race. He learned from the nameless old man that the Love God has connections with many powerful races, dukes, and kings. Therefore, he suspects that the Love God is in charge of negotiating conditions. The reason why the Divine Moon race and Divine Yang race joined hands to fight against the 9 heavens demon race is because they are afraid of being killed and eaten by the 9 heavens demon race. Because the 9 heavens divine demons need to devour very powerful humans to become stronger. If the 9 heavens demon race agrees not to eat those powerful races and sign a soul contract, it is possible to stop the war. The 9 heavens demon race must eat people, and the people they eat must be people with some strength. Therefore, Qin Yun thought about it and concluded that their 9 sun royal race will definitely become the main target. The 9 sun royal race is currently very weak, so the 9 heavens demon race will test even stronger humans. That would be the divine position gods of the myriad realms divine court, then it would be the turn of the powerful ancient races. Among the powerful ancient races, the one most likely to be besieged is the Divine Moon race. If the other powerful races sell out the divine moon race, they won't need to start a war with the nine heavens demon race. They can live in peace for a very long time and enjoy the high-speed development of the divine desolate great era. If the nine heavens demon race can eat their fill, they won't be a threat to the other powerful races. Qin Yun explained his analysis. Xiao Yuelan and Yu Shangyun quietly listened. After Qin Yun finished speaking, he looked at Yu Shangyun and said, "Divine Moon Race's Emperor, what I can think of, you should also be able to think of. If you can't think of it, then I am thinking too much." Xiao Yuelan's expression also became very cold. She said, "Those powerful races might not sell us, but they won't help us. We can't say anything about them. I want to go back and tell Shuriwe that you are safe now. Let me go out," Yu Shangyun said. Her tone is still very calm and indifferent. Because she is wearing a helmet, Qin Yun can't see the change in her expression. However, Qin Yun is sure that Yu Shangyun will remember his words. Qin Yun controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle and sent Yu Shangyun out. "Xiao Yun, what do we do now? Nine heavens demon race and primal chaos race have already surrounded the entire divine sun heavenly island. Moreover, the divine moon race also needs to awaken the heavenly law war god. They can't leave for the time being." Xiao Yuelan is very worried. "After returning to the divine sun heavenly island, I want to find divine judge and an old friend. I want to further confirm the situation," Qin Yun said. Xiao Yuelan sighed lightly and asked, "Xiao Yun, when did you have this kind of worry?" Qin Yun said, "After I found out about the casualties of the other powerful races, I had this kind of worry. Because those powerful ancient races are no match for the nine heavens divine demons. Even if the clan emperor takes action, even if their heavenly law war god awakens, they won't be able to defeat the nine heavens demon race. Therefore, they might change their minds. The nine heavens divine demons are very strong. The reason why the divine moon race can resist them is also because of the divine moon of heavens. Maybe I am thinking too much, but my intuition tells me that the divine moon race will most likely be isolated, causing their last alliance to break apart. If they form an alliance and start a war with the nine heavens demon race, in the end, only the divine moon race will suffer the least losses. As for the other powerful races, more than half of them will be exterminated," Qin Yun said. "If the divine moon race moves into the divine moon of heavens, they will be in an invincible position. The other powerful races don't have this kind of escape route, so in the end, they will most likely give up fighting against the nine heavens demon race." Xiao Yuelan nodded. Qin Yun is almost done resting. He took out the blue crystal box. Inside it is the Imperial Heaven Divine Technique. I wonder what is the connection between the Imperial Heaven Divine Technique and the Imperial Heaven Diagram. Qin Yun gently caressed the box and then slowly opened it. After opening it, there is a transparent soft object inside. Qin Yun picked it up. He doesn't know if it is a transparent paper or not. When he touched it, it felt like he was caressing soft and smooth skin. After he opened it, he placed it on a table and carefully looked at it. It is completely transparent, nothing can be seen. Is the Imperial Heaven Divine Technique like this? "Xiao Yun, can you see anything?" Xiao Yuelan asked. "She can't see anything." Qin Yun opened his heavenly eye but found nothing. He suddenly realized that this transparent paper is about the same size as the Imperial Heaven Diagram. He quickly took out the Imperial Heaven Diagram. He placed the Imperial Heaven Diagram at the bottom and then covered it with the transparent paper. After covering it, it suddenly flickered with an intense blue light. The square paper also turned blue in an instant. This is not the end, the transformation is still continuing. It was originally flat, but now it is gradually turning into a blue crystal cube. It looks very similar to the blue sky. What is this thing? Qin Yun is extremely shocked. A meter-long and wide blue crystal cube is slowly floating in the air. There are many characters on its surface. Chapter 2309. Xiao Yuelan looked at the floating blue crystal cube. Although she could not see the words on it, she could feel that the blue crystal cube possessed a power that made her feel fear. Xiao Yun, do you see anything now? Xiao Yuelan asked. I saw it, there are words on it. It's the Imperial Heaven Divine Technique's mnemonic chant. Qin Yun's eyes flickered with blue light. He opened his heavenly eye and very seriously looked at the words. It's good that you can see. We didn't work for nothing, Xiao Yuelan said with a smile. She sat by the side and controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle to fly. Qin Yun, on the other hand, was recording the words on the blue crystal cube. Not only were there mantras on it, but there were also records of things that happened above the 9 heavens. This was mainly because, even in the 9 heavens, the various living beings were very confused about the concept of heaven. They did not know what heaven was. Above the 9 heavens, there were also many experts who called themselves the heavens. Those people were indeed very powerful, but in the end they all died. It also said that this blue crystal square body was called the heart of Imperial Heaven, and it was also refined from a special material taken from the divine sun of the sky. It did not mention who had refined the imperial heart, nor did it mention who had created the imperial divine technique. He only said that if he could master this imperial heaven technique, he would be able to control the heavens. While recording, Qin Yun also learned that the imperial heaven divine art is extremely profound. He is unable to comprehend it in a short period of time. He only knew that this divine art of imperial heaven had several cultivation stages. In the beginning, one had to cultivate the heavenly body, and the heavenly body was divided into 2 stages: heavenly blood and heavenly bone. Qin Yun carefully compared them and was shocked to discover that he actually managed to cultivate the heavenly blood by accident. Of course, his heavenly blood was only at the initial stage. Now that he had mastered the heaven blood, the next step was to cultivate the heaven bones. If he cultivated both heavenly blood and heavenly bones well, he would be able to cultivate the heavenly body to perfection. At that time, his body would be able to contain a very strong heavenly strength. The second stage was to train the heavenly soul and heavenly soul. They mainly trained their souls. As for the later stages, they were still very far away from Qin Yun, so he did not pay attention to them for now. Qin Yun was somewhat excited in the beginning because he felt that through the imperial heaven divine art, he would be able to cultivate a heavenly body and possess a powerful body. He would be able to break the 10-image fiend curse. But when he read the latter part, he realized that he needed to have Tao God realm cultivation to start cultivating the heavenly body. In other words, this divine art of the imperial heaven was of no use to his current cultivation. This was like pouring a bucket of cold water on him. Forget it, there is no harm in obtaining this imperial heaven heart. Qin Yun followed the instructions and used his blood spirit power and soul to fuse with the imperial heaven heart. Soon, the imperial heart was under his control. It gradually shrank and entered the position of his heart. The funny thing was that his current heart was a square crystal, and the original heart of the sun was inside the square heart of the imperial heaven. Furthermore, his heavenly law soul was not affected at all. Instead, it had undergone some changes, allowing him to have a more thorough understanding of the heavenly law divine runes. Could it be that this imperial heart can help me comprehend the imperial heaven divine art, as well as the heavenly law divine runes? Qin Yun closed his eyes to study it. After that, he made an even more pleasant discovery. It was that when the blood circulated through the imperial heaven heart, it could be strengthened. The imperial heaven heart could help him cultivate the heavenly blood. Blood flowed through his heart to his entire body. The imperial heaven heart was now like his heart, able to drive the heavenly blood in his entire body to strengthen. With the strengthening of the heavenly blood, his body would also become stronger. As a result, he did not need to reach the Tao God realm to be able to cultivate a heavenly body. In other words, there was hope for him to break through the 10 images. I just need time. Qin Yun was completely relieved. Although it would take a long time to break through, at least he would be able to break through. The Imperial Heaven Heart contained the Imperial Heaven Divine Art and the mysterious Imperial Heaven Diagram. Qin Yun guessed that the Imperial Heaven Diagram was a part of the Imperial Heaven Heart, and only now had it become complete. The items in the 7th Pearl of the 9 Sun Divine Spirit were a huge harvest for Qin Yun. Regardless of whether it was the Imperial Heaven Divine Art or the Imperial Heaven Heart, they could both increase his strength by a level. It could even allow him to reach a height that no other expert in the 9 heavens could reach. What he is puzzled about now is who hid the Imperial Heaven Heart and Imperial Heaven Divine Art inside the 9 Sun Divine Spirit. Xiao Yuelan has been paying attention to Qin Yun's movements. When she saw Qin Yun absorb the Imperial Heaven Heart into his heart, she was very surprised, but she did not ask. Only when she saw that Qin Yun was no longer seriously thinking did she say, "Xiao Yun, that big thing has entered your body?" Qin Yun patted his heart and said with a smile, "That's the Imperial Heaven Heart, now it's my heart." Your heart is square?" Xiao Yuelan shouted in alarm. "I don't feel any different from before." Qin Yun spread out his hands and said with a smile, "Don't worry, it's fine." Xiao Yuelan promptly hugged Qin Yun tightly and placed her ear on Qin Yun's heart to listen. She said with a smile, "I can still hear your heartbeat." Qin Yun hugged her and kissed her forehead. He said with a smile, "Yuelan, I really have to thank you this time. If it wasn't for the orchid you released, I wouldn't have been able to proceed so smoothly. We're husband and wife, what are you thanking me for?" Xiao Yuelan's cold and moving face suddenly became tender and alluring, overflowing with charm. She licked her lips and said with a gentle smile, "All right, since you're so grateful to me, why don't you hurry up and devote your life to me?" Bad Yuelan. Qin Yun hugged Xiao Yuelan and kissed her sexy and beautiful red lip. The heaven-leaping shuttle slowly flew. A pair of lovers are in sweet love inside, overflowing with amorous feelings, enjoying this rare and beautiful moment. Daybreak, the heaven-leaping shuttle began traversing through space, passing through the barrier of the Divine Sun Heavenly Island and arrived inside. Xiao Yuelan is sleeping soundly on the bed. A sweet smile appeared on her cold and beautiful jade-like face. Qin Yun did not sleep at all. He never expected that Xiao Yuelan would be so tired. After enjoying it, he slept very soundly. It could also be that the big orchid Xiao Yuelan released earlier made her body and soul extremely tired. Only with the illumination of the heaven's divine moon did she seem fine, but in fact, she is still very tired. Qin Yun affectionately looked at his lovely wife beside him and couldn't help but kiss her cheek. Xiao Yuelan also slowly opened her eyes, smiled sweetly and kissed Qin Yun. After they got up, they took a bath and changed their clothes. Xiao Yuelan changed into white armor and said with a smile, "I want to find Big Sister Yang and also go to the Divine Moon Clan to inquire about some information." "Inquire about what information?" Qin Yun pulled her hand and said, "Yuelan, you don't have any mission from the 9 Sun Divine Maiden right now, right?" "Not yet. I want to inquire about the Primal Chaos Divine Sun." Xiao Yuelan mischievously laughed. "There's also Sister Shangyun's matter. I need to understand her a lot." Qin Yun placed his hands on her face and gently caressed it. He said with a smile, "I already said, I don't need to fuse with the Divine Moon Clan's bloodline divine origin to break through. I already have a way, it just requires a lot more time." "You don't want Sister Shangyun, I want her." Xiao Yuelan playfully smiled. "She is a very mysterious big sister, she came from above the 9 heavens. Then you must be careful, don't make her angry." Qin Yun is still somewhat worried that Xiao Yuelan would make a move and carelessly touch the Divine Moon Clan's emperor. "I know what to do. Let's contact each other again." Xiao Yuelon charmingly smiled. I might come back tonight. Xiao Yuelon left the heaven-leaping shuttle and flew towards the Divine Moon Clan's large ship. It is not far from here. Qin Yun's heaven-leaping shuttle is invisible. Only when he gets close would he be able to discover the heaven-leaping shuttle. Qin Yun looked at the sky from inside the heaven-leaping shuttle. There are still 2 myriad realms divine suns, the third has yet to appear. And outside the divine sun heavenly islands barrier, from time to time there are primal chaos divine sun fluctuations, as well as the roars of 9 heavens divine demons. Those ancient races' large ships are floating above the divine sun peak, they are all waiting for the third myriad realms divine sun to appear. No one knows when the third myriad realms divine sun will appear, they only know that it will be born during this period of time. Qin Yun is also patiently waiting. Once the third myriad realms divine sun appears and light shines on the divine sun peak, he will immediately take out his heavenly universe overlord to shine. While waiting for noon, Qin Yun suddenly sensed a familiar aura. It's the nameless old man. Qin Yun is not surprised at all. He knew that the nameless old man would come. He gave the nameless old man a soul-chasing talisman before. The nameless old man stood on the invisible heaven-leaping shuttle and said with smile, "Palace King, you really came. Didn't you also come?" Qin Yun said with faint smile. The nameless old man is wearing a conical bamboo hat and white robe. He looks like an expert. Our 9-sun heavenly race is also considered one of the powerful races. Our clan emperor also wants to have close contact with the people who came down from the myriad realms divine sun. The nameless old man said, "Someone really came down from the myriad realms divine sun? What kind of people are they?" Qin Yun heard about them before. And in his hand, he still has the divine sun token given by the divine chief. He said that it will only be used when breaking through. I also don't know who they are. I only know that they are closely related to the Heaven Creation Divine Palace. 9-Sun Palace King, you were once a member of the Heaven Creation Divine Palace. How much do you know about the Heaven Creation Divine Palace? The nameless old man asked. I don't know much. Back then, I was still unable to touch the highest level secrets of the Heaven Creation Divine Palace. Qin Yun is somewhat surprised. Because back then, when he was in the Heaven Creation Divine Palace, he also thoroughly investigated the Heaven Creation Divine Palace and did not find out any secret. He never expected that the Heaven Creation Divine Palace would actually have a connection with the people above the myriad realms divine sun. After he left the 9-Sun Divine Palace, the 9-Sun Divine Palace established a connection with the 9 suns. However, that connection is very special. He can't be sure if it is with a person or with a spirit body. Now that Qin Yun has returned to the 9-Sun Divine Palace, he is unable to contact the Myriad Realms Divine Sunday. He always feels that the Myriad Realms Divine Sun is intentionally avoiding him. Palace King, let me tell you something. I secretly heard it from our clan emperor and Wang Ju. The nameless old man said. Qin Yun promptly teleported the nameless old man into the heaven-leaping shuttle and asked, "You can speak now." The nameless old man laughed and said, "This secret is very important. 100 divine universe golden stones, this is a friend's price. You can scram now." Qin Yun smiled and is about to teleport the nameless old man out. Wait a minute, we are friends, so I will give you this information for free. Palace King, I am currently lacking divine universe golden stones, can you lend me 10? The nameless old man said with a vexed expression. Chapter 23:10. Qin Yun was not surprised to learn that Divine Sun Race and Divine Star Race were in contact. He had already expected this. Primal Chaos Race, Divine Star Race and Divine Sword Race must also have Heaven Law War Gods. Their Heaven Law War Gods must also be awakened. However, they had pledged their allegiance to the Nine Heavens demon tribe and allied with them. Yet, they still wanted to awaken the heavenly law battle god. From Qin Yun's point of view, Nine Heavens demon race would not allow Primal Chaos race to have heaven law war gods, and Primal Chaos race would not dare to secretly awaken heaven law war gods behind Nine Heavens demon race's back. Qin Yun thought about it carefully and felt that there was only one possibility. Nine Heavens demon race would allow Primal Chaos race to awaken heaven law war gods. Seeing Qin Yun deep in thought, the nameless old man chuckled. How is it? My information is very important, right? Do you want to know more details? Qin Yun asked. Do you want me to give you 10 divine universe goldstones before you continue? The nameless old man was afraid of being thrown out by Qin Yun. He smiled bitterly. Even if you don't give it to me, I will tell you. Because this matter is indeed very important, I feel that you need to know. What do you want divine universe goldstones for? Qin Yun asked. I am making a primal divine sun. I need divine universe goldstones. The nameless old man said bitterly. Our race emperor doesn't have many divine universe goldstones. Even if he did, he wouldn't waste them on me. Qin Yun's eyes lit up when the nameless old man mentioned Primal Divine Sunday. He felt that this was a good opportunity to pry some secrets out of the nameless old man's mouth. Qin Yun is very interested in Primal Divine Sunday. There is a very large Primal Divine Sun outside. It belongs to Primal Chaos race. The nameless old man must have some understanding of that Primal Divine Sunday. I will give it to you. Continue. Qin Yun said. Our 9 sons heavenly clan's clan emperor and a few dukes have secretly met with the Chaos race, Divine Star race, and Divine Sword race. The nameless old man said mysteriously, there was a king who was on good terms with me. I managed to get some information out of him. Qin Yun frowned and continued listening patiently. The nameless old man continued. That Wang Ju said that the people from the myriad universes' godly sun god might want to have a secret discussion with the 9 Heavens demon emperor. They said they wanted to negotiate for peace or something, but the myriad universes' godly sun god doesn't want to fight. Negotiate for peace? Qin Yun felt that something was amiss. The people above the myriad realms' divine sun were very mysterious. They were the backer of the myriad realms' divine court. Negotiating for peace wasn't easy. They would definitely have to make concessions, which meant that the 9 Heavens demon race would be able to stay in the gods desolate, or he could agree to give the 9 Heavens demon tribe a piece of land. Qin Yun asked, anything else? After the nameless old man sat down, he said solemnly, I suspect that the 9 Heavens demon emperor is already at the divine Yang peak. Qin Yun was visibly moved. Why do you have such doubts? Look, there are a large number of 9 Heavens divine demons surrounding the divine sun heavenly island. However, those 9 Heavens divine demons are currently biding their time. Even if the people of the major races went out and accidentally encountered the 9 Heavens divine demons, they didn't fight. The nameless old man said. Qin Yun had met Yu Shangyun before. He could clearly sense that Yu Shangyun did not know about this matter. How many powerful races know that the Primal Chaos race, Divine Sword race and Divine Star race's race emperors have entered? Did they come in secretly? Qin Yun asked. They came in very secretly and they are not afraid of being besieged by the Divine Yang race at all. The nameless old man said, maybe only the Divine Moon race doesn't know about this matter. They seem to be intentionally hiding it from the Divine Moon race. Qin Yun took out 5 Divine Universe Golden Stones. He used a special enchantment to seal the Divine Universe Golden Stones to prevent any fluctuations from being transmitted out. To those powerful races, the Divine Universe Golden Stones were rather precious items. They all had tools to examine the Divine Universe Golden Stones. Only 5? The nameless old man remembered that Qin Yun had a lot of Divine Universe Golden Stones. Because my 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation was modified, I consumed a lot of divine universe golden stones. Qin Yun said, I will give you 10, but before that, I want to ask you a few questions. If you answer them, I will give them to you. Alright, I will definitely answer them properly. The nameless old man smiled as he received the 5 divine universe golden stones. He also has a tool to store divine universe golden stones. There is a very large primal divine sun outside. How much do you know about it? Qin Yun asked. When the nameless old man heard this, he had a bad premonition. He understood Qin Yun and knew that Qin Yun was definitely thinking about that primal divine Sunday Palace King. That primal divine sun belongs to the primal chaos race's emperor. You better not think about it. The nameless old man said, the primal chaos race's emperor has 2 primal divine sons. One is kept in the race and the other is only brought out to fight. What kind of power does that primal divine sun have? Qin Yun asked. It's heat, very strange and very strong heat that can form very strong primal chaos flames. The nameless old man said, and I have researched a way to restrain this kind of heat, which is the primal chaos cold power. Using the cold power to swallow the heat and strengthen the cold power. Back then, Qin Yun had seen the cold power that could freeze flames into ice. Qin Yun also had this kind of cold power. Since that's the case, you should be able to take down that primal divine sun, right? Qin Yun wanted to pull the nameless old man along. If I could do it, I would have overturned the primal chaos race long ago. The nameless old man waved his hand and laughed at himself. With my current strength, I still can't take away the primal chaos divine sun. Why? Didn't you find a way to restrain the primal chaos divine power? Qin Yun chuckled and said, come with me and take away that primal divine sun. Palace King, that's a primal divine Sunday. How can you take it away just because you say so? The nameless old man is already mentally prepared. He knows that Qin Yun wants to snatch away that primal divine sun, but he is still very astonished. Nameless old man, tell me honestly, how did you create a small primal chaos divine sun and even mastered a method to restrain primal chaos divine sun? Did you obtain some secret technique? Qin Yun chuckled and said, I think that with your level, you won't be able to research it. The nameless old man curled his lips and said, you are really looking down on people. Qin Yun said with smile, is that so? Quickly tell me. The nameless old man sighed and said, for the sake of those 5 divine universe golden stones, I can only reveal my background to you. My father was actually the former clan emperor of the 9-sun heavenly race. He died many years ago. He was killed by the primal chaos race's clan emperor. Then does your current clan emperor know about you? Qin Yun is not very surprised. I don't know, nobody knows. The nameless old man said with smile. I am a very low-profile person. I don't even have a name. I am also a nameless earl now. Your research on the primal chaos race was left behind by your father? Qin Yun asked. My father is a genius, I am also a genius. I have already mastered a method to resist primal chaos divine sun, even if it is lacking. The nameless old man said, I want to use primal chaos divine sun to suppress it. If you help me get that primal chaos divine sun outside, I will give you 100 divine universe golden stones. Qin Yun said with smile, I will keep my word. This, although it is a bit difficult, it is still possible. The nameless old man's eyes lit up when he saw that Qin Yun wants to give him 100 divine universe golden stones. He previously said that it was impossible, but now he has changed his mind. Qin Yun took out 5 divine universe golden stones and handed them to the nameless old man. He said with smile, Tell me what to do. The nameless old man said, First of all, you must have a spatial container that can hold the primal chaos divine Sunday, otherwise, even if you snatch it, you will have to drag it by your side. If you drag such a big thing by your side, it will be very easy for the primal chaos race to kill you. I have this kind of storage divine tool. Qin Yun's 9 Sun Divine Spirit can even hold the Divine Universe Purple Sun, so the Primal Chaos Divine Sun is definitely not a problem. If you have it, then it will be easy. There is a spirit body inside the Primal Chaos Divine Sunday. That is the son of the Primal Chaos Race's Emperor. He refined his son's soul into the Primal Chaos Divine Sunday. If you want to take away the Primal Chaos Divine Sun, you must first get rid of this guy. The nameless old man said again. How do I do it? Qin Yun felt that this is a bit difficult. This is the key point. If you get rid of that soul, the Primal Chaos Divine Sun will become the master of nothing. You might be able to suppress it through the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation and then take it away. The nameless old man said. The problem is, the person protecting the Primal Chaos Divine Sun will have at least 1 king and 3 dukes. The king and dukes are very strong, and Qin Yun only has Yang Shuriwei and Xiao Yuelon to help him. Qin Yun is thinking of a way. If he can get rid of the king and the 3 dukes, he will have half succeeded. The Primal Chaos Race's Emperor is not outside. He is waiting for the birth of the Myriad Realms Divine Sun at the Divine Yang Peak. Now is also the best opportunity to take action. I can only deal with 1 duke. The nameless old man spread out his hands and said, The Primal Chaos Race's Emperor is not here. It is indeed a great opportunity. Just as Qin Yun is pondering, he suddenly sensed a very strong fluctuation attacking the heaven-leaping shuttle. Qin Yun and the nameless old man immediately stood up and looked towards the direction of the Divine Yang Peak. The peak of the Divine Yang Peak is a very large circular platform. It stands at an extremely high place, and now the edge is filled with tall formation pillars. The formation pillars are carved with sun totems. Qin Yun can tell with a glance that these formation pillars are very strong barriers. It descended from the Myriad Realms Divine Sun. Qin Yun looked at the sky and muttered, Is the 3rd Myriad Realms Divine Sun about to be born? Now there is a very powerful barrier enveloping the entire Divine Yang Peak. In other words, if someone from outside wants to land on the Divine Yang Peak, they must obtain permission. Qin Yun looked at the huge Divine Moon ship not far away. Yushang Yun is inside the ship, and they have not landed on the Divine Yang Peak yet. The Divine Moon clan did not go in. I wonder if they will let them in. Qin Yun muttered. Probably not. The rumors are indeed true. There is a group of people above the Myriad Realms Divine Sun that are very resistant to the Divine Moon of the heavens. The Divine Moon clan and the Guanghan Palace have formed an alliance. They have already moved into the Divine Moon of the heavens, so they are even more hostile. The nameless old man said, There's such a thing? The relationship between the Myriad Realms Divine Sun and the Divine Moon of the heavens is not good? Qin Yun is very surprised. It's a group of people above the Myriad Realms Divine Sun that have a conflict with the Divine Moon of the heavens. I don't know the specifics, I only heard it from our emperor. The nameless old man sighed and said, This time, the girls of the Divine Moon clan are going to go crazy. At this time, in the azure sky, as if space has been torn apart, a large black vortex appeared. Chapter 23:11. The nameless old man said excitedly, It's about to begin. Will a great battle break out? The appearance of the 3rd Myriad Realms Divine Sun will definitely bring great improvement to Divine Desolate. Qin Yun looked at the black whirlpool in the sky. He felt that it is a bit like the nether sun is revolving. After personally witnessing the appearance of the Myriad Realms Divine Sun, Qin Yun also thought of many things. The 3rd Myriad Realms Divine Sun did not appear immediately. He originally thought that the 3rd Myriad Realms Divine Sun was born from the previous 2, but now it seems like it is going to come out from somewhere. Qin Yun looked at the huge black whirlpool in the sky and released his formidable mental power, wanting to probe it. Because the distance is still quite far, he can't probe it right now. He can only open his heavenly eye to look, but he still didn't find anything. After the birth of this myriad realm's divine son, what kind of benefits will it bring to divine desolate? Qin Yun asked. Divine medicines and materials will be improved. Also, some things might descend. The nameless old man said with smile. If we are lucky, we can even obtain divine universe golden stone. At this moment, the divine moon race's ships suddenly flew towards the divine sun peak. However, when they got close, they were blocked by the powerful barrier of the divine sun peak. The divine moon race's ships were blocked outside. They really didn't let the divine moon race in. Could it be that the myriad realms' divine sun people that descended this time are very hostile towards the divine moon race? The nameless old man said. Are there many factions above the myriad realms' divine sun? Qin Yun asked. It should be. The people that came down this time might be the strongest faction, so they are qualified to come to divine desolate. Maybe they will take over the myriad realms' divine court. The nameless old man shook his head. The initial stage of divine desolate will definitely be very chaotic. At this moment, Xiao Yuelon flew over and stood outside the heaven-leaping shuttle. Qin Yun let Xiao Yuelon in. After Xiao Yuelon came in, she said with a face full of anger, "Those guys actually didn't let us in." She looked at the nameless old man. She also knows that he is from the Nine-Sun Heavenly Clan. What excuse did they use to refuse you entry? Qin Yun asked. They said that the Divine Moon Clan already has the Divine Moon of Myriad Heavens, so they shouldn't come and snatch the gift of the Myriad Realm's Divine Sun. Xiao Yuelon stomped her feet in anger. She had previously heard from Qin Yun that the Divine Moon race was the race that was most likely to be ostracized because the Divine Moon race could enter the Divine Moon of Heavens. Now, Qin Yun was right. Your Divine Moon clan has the Divine Moon of the Heavens. The other strong clans are all very jealous. Also, your Divine Moon clan is very close to the Nine Sun Goddess. They are all worried that the Divine Moon clan will obtain more resources from the Myriad Realm's Divine Sun through the Nine Sun Goddess. The nameless old man said. That's also our ability. Xiao Yuelon very angrily said. If they had made it clear earlier, we wouldn't have come to the Divine Sun Heavenly Island. We were attacked many times by the Nine Heavens demon race on the way. Qin Yun could imagine Yu Shangyun's current rage. It was as if the mystic moon race had been stood up. It was impossible for them not to be angry. The nameless old man shook his head and smiled. The losses of those strong clans are even greater. Their heavenly law war god was snatched away, and many of their people died. Many dukes died and some kings were also injured. Yuelon, what plans does the Divine Moon Race's emperor have? Qin Yun asked. Of course we will fight our way in. Xiao Yuelon coldly groaned and said, We must make the Divine Sun Race give us an explanation. Qin Yun said worriedly, You want to fight against so many races? Will they fight against you? He knows that there are still Primal Chaos Race, Divine Star Race and Divine Sword Race in the Divine Sun Peak. Apart from them, the Nine Heavens Demon Emperor might also be hiding inside. We have already notified the Divine Moon of the Heavens. In a moment, the Divine Moon of the Heavens will appear in the sky and lend us a hand. Xiao Yuelon said. Xiao Yun, quickly leave this place. After we fight our way in, come back. If they don't allow the Divine Moon Race to land on the Divine Sun Peak, it means that their heavenly law war god won't be able to awaken. In the future, it will be even more difficult to fight against the Nine Heavens divine demons. The nameless old man said, If we have the help of the Divine Moon of the Heavens, the situation will be even bigger. Yuelon, can the Divine Moon Race really fight against so many strong races? Qin Yun feels that the opportunity is coming. Those guys from the Divine Sun Peak said that the barrier of the Divine Sun Peak was created by the myriad realms' Divine Sunday. As long as we have enough strength to break it, we can enter. Xiao Yuelon said. Divine Sun Race won't attack, they also won't dare to attack. Divine Sun Race and Divine Heaven Race will definitely not attack, but the Primal Chaos Race, Divine Sword Race and Divine Star Race might. If the Primal Chaos Race attacks, it will definitely be people outside the Divine Sun Heavenly Island. At this moment, an illusory image appeared in the sky. It is the Divine Moon of the heavens. It suddenly appeared in the sky in broad daylight, and it seems to be even bigger. Xiao Yun, quickly leave, don't worry about us, we have the protection of the Divine Moon of the heavens. Xiao Yuelon urged. And then you must be careful. If a Nine Heavens divine demon attacks you, I will take action. Qin Yun nodded and said. He sent Xiao Yuelon out of the Heaven Leaping Shuttle. Xiao Yuelon flew back to a Divine Moon Race ship, and Qin Yun immediately controlled the Heaven Leaping Shuttle and left the Divine Sun Heavenly Island. He quietly flew towards the Primal Chaos Divine Sun that is releasing gray energy mist. Palace King, you still haven't confirmed whether or not the Primal Chaos Race's king is here or not. The nameless old man is very nervous. He wants to run, but inside the Heaven Leaping Shuttle, he can't run at all. After the Heaven Leaping Shuttle approached the Primal Chaos Divine Sun, it suddenly entered the sea. Qin Yun said with smile, if you want 100 Divine Universe Golden Stones, you should calm down a bit. You understand the Primal Chaos Race so well, you must have something to sense them, right? The nameless old man helplessly took out a disc and said with bitter sigh, how did I end up on your pirate ship? Qin Yun wants to snatch the Primal Chaos Divine Sun, moreover it is the Primal Chaos Race's Emperor's. This is equivalent to the Primal Chaos Race's Emperor's little heart. If the Primal Chaos Race's Emperor knows that the nameless old man is also involved, he might even make the Nine Sun Heavenly Race hand him over. The nameless old man used a very mysterious method to make many light spots appear on the disc. Those light spots are the Primal Chaos Race people. This brightest spot should be the king. These three are a bit weaker, they are the Duke. The nameless old man pointed at the large disc and said again, the biggest one in the middle is the Primal Chaos Divine Sun. They are all near the Primal Chaos Divine Sun. Through the disc, Qin Yun can see that there are many Primal Chaos Race people guarding near the Primal Chaos Divine Sunday, and these Primal Chaos Race people are very strong, they are all elites among elites. But to you and me, only the kings and dukes are a threat. Will the Primal Chaos Race's kings and dukes attack the Divine Moon Race? Qin Yun is waiting for this opportunity. If only the dukes go, it will be useless. Only the kings will be able to put a lot of pressure on the Divine Moon Race. The nameless old man analyzed. If those strong races join hands with the Nine Heavens Demon Race, they will definitely stop the Divine Moon Race's Heavenly Law Battle God from awakening. To prevent the Divine Moon Race from controlling the Nine Heavens Divine Demons. Qin Yun nodded and said, the Primal Chaos Race is the ally of the Nine Heavens Demon Race. They will definitely go and stop the Divine Moon Race. Maybe they will go and snatch the Divine Moon Race's Heavenly Law Battle God. Then, the Demon Generals and Demon Dukes hiding nearby might also take action. The Divine Moon Race has the Divine Moon of the heavens, so they can hold on. There is no need to worry about this. The nameless old man said. Just as they are analyzing, the sea suddenly surged up. The Heaven Leaping Shuttle submerged into the sea, and now it has no choice but to come out and float in the air. Qin Yun concealed the Heaven Leaping Shuttle and looked at the distant Divine Sun Heavenly Island. He saw the few huge Divine Moon ships in the sky, releasing a glaring silver light. The Divine Moon of the heavens in the sky is also exceptionally bright. In broad daylight, it is as dazzling as the Divine Sun. And the huge black whirlpool in the sky is still slowly spinning. The third myriad realm's divine sun seems to be having a difficult birth. It has not come out for a long time. The divine moon race has already started attacking the divine sun peak's barrier. Just as Qin Yun is watching the divine sun peak attentively, the nameless old man suddenly shouted anxiously, "There's movement! The kings and dukes are flying towards the divine sun heavenly island." Qin Yun is ecstatic. This is a rare opportunity. Palace King, what you need to do now is to think of a way to destroy the soul inside the primal chaos divine sun, the nameless old man said. You must be fast. Because after you destroy that soul, you will definitely alarm the other people of the primal chaos race. The kings and dukes will also immediately rush back. Destroying a soul requires a very strong mental power. And after Qin Yun ate the moon-tier divine pill Yu Shangyun gave him, his mental power advanced by leaps and bounds. This also prompted him to open the seventh pearl of the nine-sun divine spirit. However, even if he has a very strong mental power, Qin Yun doesn't dare to guarantee that he can destroy the soul inside the primal chaos divine sun in one go. Therefore, he must have a more comprehensive plan. "Xiao Yun, let me go," Ling Yuner suddenly said. "I am a fairy, it can also be considered a very powerful soul body. Moreover, I have a small nether sun, it is also one of your mysterious divine Tao images. I will enter the primal chaos divine sun, get rid of that soul and replace it." Qin Yun took a deep breath. Ling Yuner is indeed the best candidate, but he is very worried that something might happen to Ling Yuner inside. "Don't be afraid, I am the Nether Sun Tao spirit and now I have a powerful fairy body," Ling Yuner said with smile. "I am very strong, don't look down on me." Qin Yun thought about it again and decided to let Ling Yuner take action. Ling Yuner put on the blue crystal armor Qin Yun gave her. Then, Qin Yun used his spatial divine power to open a spatial passage and let Ling Yuner directly go outside the primal chaos divine Sunday. Qin Yun paid attention to Ling Yuner from below. After she was teleported outside the primal chaos divine sun, she very easily entered the primal chaos divine sun. Chapter 23:12. Qin Yun forced himself to remain calm because he is very nervous right now. Although the nameless old man told him to prepare to collect the primal chaos divine sun, he only said it lightly. There are still a few crucial steps ahead. The nameless old man said again, "You have to relax yourself as much as possible. Your next move will be very crucial. If there is even the slightest mistake, everything will be for naught." Qin Yun nodded and said, I will adjust my state." The nameless old man looked at the sky and then looked at the disk in his hand. Many of the light dots on it are motionless. Those light dots are the primal chaos race people. If there is no movement, it means that they have not noticed anything yet. Ling Yun is inside the primal chaos divine Sunday. Qin Yun doesn't know how she is doing. He and Ling Yun can sense each other. As long as they are not too far apart, their souls can communicate with each other. But because the current situation is too special, they did not communicate to avoid being discovered. Whether or not Ling Yun succeeds is a crucial step. And after she succeeds, whether or not Qin Yun can collect the primal chaos divine sun into the nine sun divine spirit is a very important step. After successfully collecting it, they still have to retreat unscathed. It is also because there are so many links involved and Ling Yun is personally taking action that Qin Yun is very nervous. This is mainly because he is too worried that something will happen to Ling Yun. The relationship between Qin Yun and Ling Yun can be said to be very deep. Because he has experienced many painful times, Ling Yun has always encouraged him and accompanied him. It can be said that she is his spiritual pillar. Even though Qin Yun has experienced many things, he still can't help but feel complicated at this moment. He somewhat regretted letting Ling Yun go out and take the risk. The nameless old man can see that Qin Yun is nervous, so he comforted him from time to time, telling him to relax. Qin Yun feels as if he has passed a long 100 years, waiting for the primal chaos divine sun's movement. Suddenly, the primal chaos divine sun trembled. The movement is not small. Qin Yun and the nameless old man jumped up. "Success, your spirit is done," the nameless old man shouted in pleasant surprise. "Quick, use your storage divine tool to collect the primal chaos divine sun." Qin Yun hastily activated the 9 sun divine spirit and opened one of the pearls, releasing waves of spatial power. At the same time, he released the spatial power of the spatial divine power pearl to envelop the primal chaos divine sun in the sky. "Come in." Qin Yun grunted and used his powerful mental power to lock onto the entire chaos divine Sunday. Then, he fully activated it. Whoosh! The chaos divine sun's surroundings rippled with intense spatial fluctuations. Then, the entire space began to shrink and distort as it surged towards Qin Yun's 9 sun divine soul. The primal chaos clansmen near the primal chaos divine sun were terrified and shouted. Qin Yun gritted his teeth and released all his strength. Great tribulation begin. He suddenly summoned the 9 dragons' glorious sun tribulation. This great tribulation was mainly used to deal with the primal chaos rays. The chaos divine sun was massive and extremely heavy. Even if it did not resist Qin Yun, it would not be easy to store it. "Yuner, how are you?" Qin Yun immediately asked. "I'm fine, I'm just very tired." Ling Yuner smiled and said, "Little Yun, it's up to you now. I want to rest." In the sky, the roar of a dragon and the roar of thunder came crashing down. The 9 dragons' glorious sun tribulation was so powerful that even the divine sun's celestial island could sense it. After the gray primal chaos divine sun's space was distorted, it was slowly absorbed by the 9 sun divine soul. Primal chaos race's kings and dukes also sensed that something is wrong with the primal chaos divine sun and immediately rushed back. They originally wanted to attack the divine moon ship. Divine sword race and divine star race's kings and dukes have already attacked the divine moon race's flying ship. This is equivalent to them completely falling out with the divine moon race. Primal chaos race's kings and dukes originally wanted to attack, but something happened to their primal chaos divine Sunday. They had no choice but to immediately return to the primal chaos divine Sunday. And the primal chaos race's emperor inside the divine sun peak's barrier also sensed that something happened to the primal chaos divine Sunday. However, he did not come out. This made Qin Yun and the nameless old man very puzzled. Xiao Yuelan and Yang Shiyue, who are inside the divine moon ship, also noticed that the primal chaos race's kings and dukes who were about to attack their ship suddenly left. Then, they looked at the distant location of the primal chaos divine Sunday. They saw that the space there is distorting and shrinking. They knew that someone wants to store the primal chaos divine sun into a spatial storage divine tool. It was done by Qin Yun. They are very certain because only Qin Yun can do it. The primal chaos race's kings and dukes flew towards the primal chaos divine sun with all their might. However, just as they rushed over, the primal chaos divine sun disappeared. After Qin Yun succeeded, he immediately fled with the nameless old man. He directly used the space divine power pearl to travel through space. The heaven-leaping shuttle arrived near the divine sun heavenly island. The divine moon race is attacking the divine sun peak's barrier. And Qin Yun knows that the 9 heavens demon emperor and the primal chaos race's emperor are all at the divine sun peak. If they suddenly attack, it will definitely cause great losses to the divine moon race. The nameless old man gasped for breath and said with a silly smile, "Success, success! The primal chaos race lost a primal chaos divine sun." Qin Yun's heart is beating very fast. He is also very excited, to the point that both of his hearts are beating crazily. The imperial heavenly heart and his original heart are beating alternately, causing the heavenly blood in his body to quickly circulate. The primal chaos race's emperor is truly patient. Qin Yun only felt that it was very dangerous. If the primal chaos race's emperor had made a move, it would not have gone so smoothly. He should be exploding with anger now, the nameless old man said with a laugh. The primal chaos race's emperor killed the nameless old man's father, so the nameless old man is very happy now. Qin Yun's 9-son divine spirit now has 2 divine sons. Primal chaos divine sun, divine universe purple Sunday. Next, he plans to cultivate a very large nether sun in the 9-son divine spirit. Qin Yun and the nameless old man are paying attention to the divine sun peak's situation. A few powerful race's kings and 10 or so dukes are attacking the divine moon race's ship. And the divine moon race is also fighting back. Qin Yun also saw the King Feng Yu come out, as well as a few other armored women. Yu Shangyun, the divine moon race's emperor, is filled with killing intent. After she appeared, her ice-cold and intense killing intent enveloped the entire divine sun heavenly island. The people on the island have no choice but to hide far away. Roar! The sea suddenly churned. A huge blue monstrous dragon and an incomparably huge blue monstrous whale suddenly rushed into the sky from the sea. The scene is very shocking. It is Demon Dragon Divine General and Demon Whale Divine General. 9 heavens demon races 2 divine generals moved out and directly rushed towards the divine sun peak. The divine Yang celestial island's barrier has closed. It seems like those guys really joined hands to swindle the divine moon clan. Qin Yun is currently recovering the energy he consumed just now. In order to take away the primal divine sun, he consumed a lot of energy. Yu Shangyun was very strong. She was able to face 3 powerful kings by herself. She was able to defeat the kings one by one. Even the 2 gigantic demon generals that were flying over were forced back by Yu Shangyun's sword. The clan Tharch is indeed the clan Tharch. How terrifying! The nameless old man exclaimed, among the race Thearchs of the strong races, the divine moon race Tharch should be ranked in the top 3. Qin Yun was secretly alarmed. Even when facing the 9 heavens demon race's divine generals, Yu Shangyun was able to force them to retreat. Nameless old man, quickly leave this place, I want to go, Qin Yun said. Ah? What are you going there for? The nameless old man said in surprise. What can you help with? The Divine Moon Clan has the protection of the Divine Moon Clan. Nothing will happen to them. I'll go over and tell them about the situation at Divine Yang Peak, Qin Yun said. Otherwise, even if they break through the barrier and enter the Divine Yang Peak, they will definitely suffer greatly. Qin Yun also told Xiao Yuelon about this matter before. Xiao Yuelon must have told Yu Shangyun, but Yu Shangyun did not seem to be on guard. Didn't you tell your wife? The nameless old man said. Qin Yun is already prepared to go out. He said, I snatched away the Primal Chaos Divine Sun and the Primal Chaos Race's Emperor held back and did not come out. He must have set up a trap inside. Qin Yun is proficient in formations. He suspects that a trap has already been set up inside the Divine Yang Peak. That's why the Primal Chaos Race's Emperor can't immediately come out to avoid destroying the trap. The kings, dukes and the 2 demon generals who were besieging the Divine Moon Clan's ship were quickly beaten back by Yu Shangyun. Yu Shangyun brought the Divine Moon Clan's kings back to the ship and continued attacking the Divine Yang Peak's barrier. After Qin Yun became invisible, he used the soul-chasing talisman to determine the ship Xiao Yuelon is on. Just as he was about to travel through space, the Divine Yang Peak's barrier was suddenly blasted apart, shaking out a very strong energy. Qin Yun was directly sent flying by the energy. 7 Divine Moon Clan ships rushed into the Divine Yang Peak at this moment. Among them, 5 ships flew the fastest. Just as they entered, a huge net suddenly appeared on an incomparably spacious plaza of the Divine Yang Peak. And from the sky, a huge net suddenly dropped down, enveloping the 5 Divine Moon Clan ship. Damn it! Qin Yun cursed in his heart. This is exactly as he guessed. The Divine Yang Peak seal is very powerful. It is very likely that it has the help of the mysterious people above the myriad realms' divine sun or the help of the 9 heavens' divine demons. After the 5 Divine Moon Clan ships were sealed by the 2 huge nets, they suffered all kinds of attacks. At this moment, several powerful auras surged out from the Divine Yang Peak. The Primal Chaos Race's Emperor's anger is the strongest because his Primal Chaos Divine Sun is gone. Divine Sword Race, Divine Star Race and Primal Chaos Race's Imperial Capital have appeared. There's also the 9 Heavens Demon Emperor. Qin Yun looked at the 2 Divine Moon Clan ships that were not sealed from the distance. He looked at Xiao Yuelan's soul-chasing talisman. Xiao Yuelan is in one of the 2 ships. This made him feel a lot more at ease. After that, he took out Yang Shuriyue and Yu Wulan's soul-chasing talisman and discovered that they are not in the 2 ships. Big Sister Yang, Second Sister. Qin Yun suddenly felt as if he was struck by lightning. He clenched his fists tightly. Yu Wulan and Yang Shuriyue's ship has been sealed. Chapter 23:13. Qin Yun found the words, "sacrifice to the heavens," extremely familiar. Back then, he and Shimen Dazhuang were trapped in a heavenly Tao altar and were almost sacrificed to the heavens. And now, 9 Heavens Demon Emperor wants to sacrifice to the heavens. Yang Shuryu and Yu Wulan are inside the seal. Qin Yun, who is hiding in the dark, tried to use spatial divine power to enter the seal but failed. The seal completely sealed the space. This kind of seal is very powerful. It is most likely created by 9 Heavens Demon Emperor and myriad realms divine sun people. Qin Yun received too much information in a short time. Qin Yun already knew that the strong races on the Divine Yang Peak and 9 Heavens Demon Emperor were plotting. But he did not expect that they were actually plotting to sacrifice to the heavens and to use Divine Moon Race women as sacrifices. Also, after the sacrifice, it is not Myriad Realms Divine Sun but Heavenly Universe Divine Sun. Heavenly Universe Divine Sun is blue and said to be above the 9 heavens. The 9 Heavens Demon Emperor had been sealed within the blue skies, because he had obtained the divine sun seed of the celestial universe. Now, 9 Heavens Demon Emperor wants to use the sacrifice to make Heavenly Universe Divine Sun appear in the sky of Divine Desolate. And behind this, Myriad Realms Divine Sun people are also participating. Not only Qin Yun, the nameless old man and Yu Shangyun are also very shocked. Divine Moon Emperor, our Primal Chaos Race's Primal Chaos Divine Sun is missing. Is it related to you? Primal Chaos Emperor's cold and angry voice can be heard. Yu Shangyun is also extremely angry, she shouted. You bastards, you actually joined hands to harm our Divine Moon Race. You want to sacrifice my sisters to the heavens? I will not rest until you are dead. There are still 2 Divine Moon Race ships that have not been sealed. The women inside the ships are extremely angry. Xiao Yuelan has always been following Yu Shangyun, so she is also beside Yu Shangyun. She is also very angry. Your Divine Moon Race is indeed very strong by relying on the Divine Moon of Heavens. No matter how strong you are, you can't beat us now. Deity Sword Emperor laughed and said, and the girls on your ships will be sacrificed to the heavens. Divine Moon of Heavens suddenly shot down a huge light beam and landed on the net-like barrier of Divine Sun Peak. However, after the light beam landed, it bounced off. The 9 Heavens Demon Emperor smirked. Mystic Moon Race, stop your futile struggle. That barrier was given to us by the 9 Heavens Divine Race. 9 Heavens Divine Clan. Qin Yun immediately knew that it was someone above the Myriad Realms Divine Sunday. It was actually someone from the 9 Heavens Divine Race. He had already stealthily arrived at the Divine Yang Peak and was near the barrier. Several huge flying ships were wrapped up by the 2 nets, unable to move. The women inside did not come out either. Everyone's attention was focused on the remaining 2 ships of the mystic moon race. This was because the 3 tribe emperors and the 9 heavens demon emperor, as well as the devil court and heavenly law hall, would likely surround and attack the mystic moon race king. This was a huge battle. If they fought, it could be said to be the most intense battle since the formation of the divine wilderness. Qin Yun forced himself to calm down and check the seal. Such a powerful seal came from above the 9 heavens. Furthermore, with the power of 2 myriad realms' divine suns, it would be very difficult to break it. Divine Yang race, divine sky race, you actually colluded with this group of fellows. Yu Shangyun's voice rang out. We did not ally with them, we were also forced to do so. You know very well that our strong races originate from above the 9 heavens. The people inside the myriad realms' divine sun are the 9 heavens' divine race, we also listened to them. The one who spoke was the divine Yang race emperor. Divine moon race emperor, the 9 heavens' divine race wants to create a heavenly universe divine sun in the divine wilderness. They need enough strong race members to offer sacrifices. They chose you, we also have no choice. The divine sky race emperor said. We guarantee that we will not attack you, this is also our bottom line. The 9th underworld race emperor said. These few race emperors all expressed their stance. They only said that they would not participate in the battle, indicating that they really did not want to be enemies with the divine moon race. If these few strong races all participated, the divine moon race could only despair. Since that's the case, we are no longer allies. After this matter, as long as I am still alive, I will definitely settle this debt with you. Yu Shangyun's angry voice was filled with killing intent, forming a gale that whistled loudly. If the divine Yang race had told them about this matter in advance, they would not have fallen into that trap. Previously, Qin Yun only suspected that there was a trap and he did not have time to go over and say anything. Otherwise, this kind of thing would not have happened. Now, he can only blame himself for being too weak. Facing this powerful barrier, he also feels very powerless. If he had enough cultivation, he would have been able to use his strongest power to destroy the barrier. Right now, he can also break it, but it will take a very long time. In the current situation, time is very tight. 9 heavens divine race. You want to use my woman as a sacrifice to the heavens, then I will use you as a sacrifice to my saber. Qin Yun can only use his last resort, which is to use his strongest power to break this barrier. He took out the myriad heaven divine saber. This divine saber has always been evolving along with Qin Yun, especially now that he is holding it in his hand. It has immediately established a connection with the imperial heaven heart in his body. Qin Yun can clearly feel that the myriad heaven divine saber and the imperial heaven heart are closely connected. The myriad heaven divine saber suddenly underwent a huge change. Its entire body turned into a blue crystal and blue heavenly blood flowed inside. Inside this saber is the 9 sun royal races' mysterious bloodline heavenly pattern box. At this moment, Qin Yun can clearly feel what is inside the bloodline heavenly pattern box. Inside the bloodline heavenly pattern box, there is a very powerful thing. Sealed inside is a very powerful bloodline. Qin Yun doesn't know what kind of bloodline it is. He also wants to open it very much, but he is strongly telling himself that if he opens it, the hidden bloodline will destroy him. The myriad heaven divine saber has been affected by the imperial heaven heart. It has undergone a very big change. When Qin Yun tightly gripped the saber, he has a feeling that he can cleave the heavens and split the earth. Open! Qin Yun slashed at the barrier with great force. A large amount of blue energy burst out from the blade's edge. Berserk blue energy surged out like blue ocean water and enveloped the entire divine Yang peak. The mighty saber wind destroyed all the buildings on the divine Yang peak in an instant, and the huge net also showed signs of being split open. The commotion is so big that it immediately alerted the 9 heavens demon emperors and clan emperors. Xiao Yuelon, who was inside the divine moon ship, also saw Qin Yun and shouted in alarm. It's Xiao Yun. Yu Shangyun also saw Qin Yun's back. A trace of hope flashed in her heart. She immediately flew out of the divine moon ship and rushed towards Qin Yun. It's 9 Sun Palace King. The one who shouted is Primal Chaos Race's Emperor. He furiously said, "Maybe this bastard took away my Primal Chaos Divine Son. Primal Chaos Race's Emperor actually took away my Primal Chaos Divine Son. Quickly block Divine Moon Race's Emperor." Divine Sword Race's Emperor shouted. Divine Star Race's Emperor and 9 Heavens Demon Emperor immediately rushed out to block Yu Shangyun. Yu Shangyun waved her sword, sweeping out a large area of moonlight. Divine Star Race's Emperor spread his arms. Dozens of huge stars suddenly appeared around him and revolved around his body, forming a star-great formation. 9 Heavens Demon Emperor with long silver hair and devilish appearance is very angry when he found out that Qin Yun is here because his head was pierced by Qin Yun back then. The furious 9 Heavens Demon Emperor shot out wave after wave of blue demon god power to block Yu Shangyun. Divine Sword Race's Emperor also rushed over. With 3 super experts blocking, even Yu Shangyun is unable to pass. And Qin Yun already slashed the second time, attacking the barrier. What is shocking is that the powerful barrier from above the 9 heavens is actually showing signs of loosening. Damn bastard, return my Primal Chaos Divine Son! Primal Chaos Race's Emperor angrily rushed towards Qin Yun, waved his hand and shot out a large amount of gray light ball that covered the sky and earth, and landed on the Divine Sun Peak. Just as Primal Chaos Race's Emperor rushed over, a middle-aged man wearing blue armor suddenly appeared. It is Shen Yu Tianlong who has disappeared for many days. Back then, after Shen Yu Tianlong and 9 Heavens Demon Emperor fought, after suffering a crushing defeat, his whereabouts have been unknown. Now he finally appeared. Scram! After Shen Yu Tianlong appeared, he ferociously attacked Primal Chaos Race's Emperor. Qin Yun can also continue to attack the barrier. As long as he releases the 5 ships inside, the heaven sacrifice will fail and the heavenly universe divine sun will not appear. Big Sister Yang, second sister, I will definitely save you. Qin Yun used the myriad heaven divine saber in his hand and crazily hacked at the barrier. The Divine Universe Purple Sun and Primal Chaos Divine Sun inside the 9 Sun Divine Spirit released divine power into his body and then transformed it by the Imperial Heaven Heart. The 9 Vein Divine Power formed is also very powerful. Finally, after being hacked by the myriad Heaven Divine Saber, its might is extremely ferocious. Just as the barrier loosened, an intense light beam shone down. It is from a myriad realms divine sun. After the intense light beam shone down, dozens of people came down. Those dozens of people are all wearing dazzling flame armor. The intense light released by the flame is like the light released by the myriad realms divine sun. These dozens of people are clearly from the 9 heavens divine race that came down from inside the myriad realms divine sun. 9 Sun Palace King, you stinking bug. I have tolerated you for a long time. If not for the Divine King Heavenly Seal being in your hands, we would have already torn your body into 10,000 pieces, sealed your soul inside the Divine Sun and burned it. A youth saw Qin Yun and furiously sneered. He waved the folding fan in his hand and released a large area of intense Divine Sun flame. The flame transformed into a furious dragon and hit Qin Yun's body like a light beam. At the same time, other 9 heavens divine race people also attacked ferociously. Countless fire dragons roared and charged at Qin Yun. 9 heavens divine race people have surpassed the sacred god realm. All of them are Tao gods. Their divine power far exceeds Qin Yun's. Qin Yun's cultivation is far inferior to those 9 heavens divine race people, especially when facing that kind of dreadful divine sun power. it is impossible for him to block it. His body was immediately sent flying, along with the fire dragon transformed into a flame wave. He was sent flying out of the divine Yang Peak. Qin Yun is already seriously injured. He is in a daze. He can sense a very strong demon god power rushing over. It is Divine General Yao Long. Scram! The Divine Judge shouted and suddenly appeared beside Qin Yun. He held the mighty myriad Heaven Divine Punishment banner and sent Divine General Yao Long flying. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.